breakfast, since I was a walking zombie, I grabbed whatever was closest at the buffet. So I think it was an omelet. I think I had bacon and some form of potatoes.
Well, breakfast was dinner, so I ate a full-on honkin' plate of, I had eggs, salmon, toast. I ate with roast.
What color were your eggs?
Orange.
What color are they?
Yes, it's like they're like red. The eggs are funky.
They taste good, but they're orange.
And how was what'd you do for
Well, I
breakfast
didn't
today?
eat breakfast. I don't usually, so then I had a Luna bar because we went over to swimming.
I know, I'm still getting adjusted, so I'm not a breakfast person usually, but today I was.
Welcome back to today's Olympic headquarters in Tokyo. We're pulling back the curtain, giving you an exclusive look at the Tokyo Games. And now it's time to see what goes on behind the scenes as the world's greatest athletes prepare to compete.
Kalish is going to win gold for the United States, and Litherland is trying to make it a 1-2 finish for the Americans.
Before the medals, the events,
and that will get through. And here comes McClenny to try and win it, and the United States walks it off.
And the COVID testing.
A few items that are essential to our living here in the village. Every day we spit into one of these.
All 600 plus athletes had to get to Tokyo.
It's time for Tokyo. Let's get after it.
The journey full of airport shenanigans, including the U.S. women's volleyball team giving their own That's So Raven impressions. But finally, all the athletes making it and ready for the next stop, Olympic Village. U.S. Olympian April Ross speaking to Savannah, giving her the inside scoop on living in the village.
Tell me about your movements, what you're able to do, what you're able to see.
It feels pretty normal. We're allowed to go to the cafeteria whenever we want. We wear gloves. We use a lot of hand sanitizer all the time. We can take buses out to the high performance center, to the venue, and it's pretty free flowing. You know, there's lots of guidelines, but to be honest, it feels decently normal here in the village.
U.S. rower Michelle Schexer echoing April's sentiments.
I do feel very comfortable here. It's unfortunate, I think, that it is, receiving some of the negative press that it is, but honestly, in the village, I feel safer there than I have in any city in the States in the past 18 months.
But there is one thing we keep hearing about.
So I've been getting this question over and over again.
I've been getting this question a lot.
So let's dive into it.
Those cardboard beds.
Okay, so it is cardboard.
Even under here, everything is cardboard, so you might think they're not very sturdy. Let's test it out.
Hey, oh, she's sneezing. So peaceful. Probably the only one who could sleep on the bed.
U.S. men's volleyball player Eric Shoji showed TikTok a full tour of his dorm room.
Let's go. We have a fridge, a microwave, some coffee. Oh my gosh, our trash. This is our little living room, kind of small. And the best part is our balcony view.
And Grace Luzak from U.S. Rowing giving her own behind-the-scenes tour.
No Japan tour would be complete without the super tech-savvy toilet.
And yes, laundry still has to get done, even in the Olympic Village.
Yeah, what's happening is I'm doing about 10 people's laundry.
The women's gymnastic team choosing not to stay in the village after an alternate member on the team tested positive, but had some fun of their own in a hotel nearby. And we can't forget about the food. Japan is known for their cuisine, and these athletes are digging in.
Welcome to dinner.
In the Olympic Village, there are two dining halls. There's the main dining hall, and then there's the casual dining hall, which is all Japanese food. So Kalika and I are checking out tonight. Let's see what we got. First up, salmon salad. Yeah. Teriyaki beef, rice ball / musubi. And this is okonomiyaki. It's like a savory Japanese pancake. This food is so good.
Of course, they are also here to compete. But as they wait for their moment, several attempted the latest viral TikTok challenge, Oreos Pass the Oreo. Team USA making the
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today Food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Hey guys, welcome today. So happy you're joining us.
The U.S. swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
A lifetime experience on and off the field.
Go Team USA. Go USA!
And taking us along for the ride every step of the way.
Love seeing all those athletes behind the scenes.
Fun.
Oh, well, of course, you know this nice lady, Savannah Guthrie, helping us with our behind-the-scenes special.
I love this show.
Yeah, it's like Today at Night, kind of. Like,
Today After Dark.
Oh yes,
It's getting dangerous.
Well, speaking of that, what do you think about doing the show when it's like dark, pitch dark out?
I like it. I mean, we're morning people,
Sure.
but this is fun. I could get used to this. You sleep in, you take a little nap in the afternoon. It's good. I like it. Do you like it?
I do, although, it's still, every now and then I kind of like, okay, wait, what time is it?
Yeah, I mean, I like our hours, but but this is a nice change.
This is all right. Maybe we'll keep this up when we get back. What's been your favorite moment so far?
I loved doing the opening ceremony. I still loved when the drones
By the
were
way,
up
you
in the
and
air.
Mike Tirico were amazing.
We had so much fun, and I had never done it before, so that was really cool. When they put the drones up in the air, it was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I'm not sure that anything's been done like that. 1,800 drones, and it looked
Never
like
been done
planet
before.
Earth.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was truly beautiful.
One of the things I find kind of interesting is how this dance that goes on. But again, even here with the Olympics, we had that breaking news with the Simone Biles.
Yeah.
What was that? Because you and Hoda, Hoda was at the Gymnastics Center, but you were here kind of honchoing this thing. What was that like?
It was crazy because we kind of just shifted into breaking news mode, but it was about the Olympics. It was literally the last thing anyone would have expected, and right away, luckily we have we have the best team in the business.
We do.
They kind of blew up the whole rundown that was planned and started booking live guests. I think we woke up Mike Tirico in the middle of the night.
He said he had just poured some bourbon. He was about to come.
Well, he seemed totally sober.
I know.
I don't think he had
poured it.
I don't think he had had any yet.
He didn't have it.
And he's such a good sport. He came down. We're in the hotel. Our set is right at the hotel, so he's probably up in his room. He came down. We started getting the gymnastics analysts on, and it was all unfolding on our air. And Hoda was there.
Right.
So she was watching what was happening. And at first we didn't know, was it a physical injury? Then we learned it had to do something with her mental health. And so it was just, we kind of shifted into that mode. And, it's pretty extraordinary. And I'm so proud of the other athletes who really stepped up and rose to the occasion. They're incredible.
What is it, when we come to the Olympics, it's a whole different thing because we get to spend time together that we don't normally. Because look, let's face it, we've got families and all that, but here it's such unadulterated us time.
It's fun. It's like camp. It's like today's show camp, and it's really special. And we, it's true because when we're back home, we have our families, we've got kids at school and all that stuff. Here, we get to have our meals together. We go on these little adventures together. And even with the pandemic, we've gone on the bus tour. We had Japanese lunch today, which will be on the show this morning. And it's fun, It's just different kind of time, and not just those of us that you see on camera, but all of our producers
all of our crews and everybody else. Well, look, I know you've got, we're on the air live in 30 seconds.
I know.
30 minutes.
It's 30 seconds. Oh my God, I gotta go.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
so you've got homework to do.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining us for a behind-the-scenes look today at the Olympic Games. Stay tuned to Today All Day throughout the day for more interviews with all your favorite Olympians. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
Let's go. This is a critical choke point for this fire. And good evening from New Orleans. Nice to really spend some time with you. Appreciate it.
Good morning, everybody. We have turned our plaza into Olympic Plaza, and why not? Take a look at this, a fully vaccinated and fully fired up crowd. This is going to be the center of the action because a lot of the athletes returning home are going to stop here first. We've got swimming royalty right here.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today All Day and a look behind the scenes of today's special Olympic broadcast. I'm back from Tokyo. We're on our Olympic Plaza just outside Studio 1A in New York City. Our crowd is already starting to pour in to Olympic Plaza. Our fully vaccinated crowd, they're all looking good because they're fully vaccinated. Over the next half hour, I'm going to give you an inside look at how these special broadcasts have come together outdoors on our Olympic Plaza. Now, you think the party has been in Japan for the past 2 weeks, but every day we've invited these nice people, we like you. They've been cheering us on and cheering on Team USA. Here's an inside look at how our team here in the Big Apple turned this plaza into our own Olympic village.
He's going to win gold up there in lane 5. He did it!
While the adrenaline is still rushing through Tokyo, today's Olympic Plaza may be just as exciting. 13 time zones and 7,000 miles away. We have all the action, athletes, and me back here in New York.
We love you, Al!
During our outdoor broadcasts on our Today Plaza. The set took 2 weeks to design, another 2 weeks to build, with crews working throughout the night. This iconic arch, inspired by Chidori, Japanese architecture, all with the goal welcoming fans to the plaza.
The design ties into all of our sets that are over in Tokyo and Connecticut, really tying everything together for the viewer.
Our fully vaccinated fans arriving at the crack of dawn, ready to be part
Tucson, Arizona
of the Today Show. And for this couple, our plaza is really the next best thing to being there.
Caleb's going to be here today.
Charles and Susie spent 2 years planning to go to the games, but then the pandemic.
We have everything. We have airline ticket, hotel.
I want to say thank you on behalf of the show and NBC
for writing to us, for setting your alarm early, for bringing your vaccination cards, your photo ID, your great posters, your beads, like we are your Statue of Liberty foam hats.
Our Plaza producer, Kevin Chattel, is the first to meet everybody.
We're excited to be here. I have always wanted to do this since I was a little girl. And so now I'm 40 and we're here.
The fans arrive on 48th Street right here in Rockefeller Center at 6 a.m. They come decked out. People line up as early as 5:30. They come on, go through security, get a good spot, and right away we start getting them on TV.
Dallas, are you ready?
Yes.
Right at the camera, you know your lines.
We record all of that before the show starts that we include in our 8 o'clock open a bit later in the show.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Tampa, Florida.
Oklahoma City.
This right here is the happiest place in New York City. People are out here to celebrate, to have a good time, honor their milestones.
We got the gold.
We got the gold, yeah.
Every single day is a dose of joy, of excitement. There's never a dull moment.
Our anchors get ready, then it's showtime.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm Zach Schiffman, and I'm one of the stage managers on the Today Show.
During our broadcast, stage manager Zach keeping the talent on track and the guests in place, all with multiple people talking in his ear.
I'm in constant communication with the director and the assistant director. Under a minute, come on over. So I get in around 5 in the morning, and the first thing we do is we call into the daily rundown meeting where we learn about what's on the show today, what changes have happened overnight, and then we start our pre-planning process. 15 seconds. The best part about my job is that every day is different here.
USA! USA! And just like that, from pool to plaza, Caleb Dressel wowing the crowd with his 5 gold medals.
It is pretty crazy though. Like I've grown up seeing this on the TV, and so to be on the other side and like all these fans out here are incredible.
And that's a wrap for today behind the scenes on Olympic Plaza. And we're now joined by my pal, Chanel Jones.
How
Good
are
to
you?
see you. So you and Jenna Bush Hager last week were holding down the fort here while we were all in Tokyo. What was it like here on the plaza?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have to tell you, honestly, it exceeded expectations. We didn't really know what to expect. It was honestly the first time we've really been out with a crowd again.
Right.
And what we found, people are longing to be back together again and to connect. And I was fascinated by the amount of people from all over the country, from Utah to Des Moines to Florida. I mean, everybody was here having a good time. We had the games on behind us.
Right.
I mean, it was electric.
On the big board. So far for you, what's been your favorite moment of the Olympics?
Oh my gosh, having Caleb Dressel, was that just a couple of days ago? Olympic swimmer here on the set. And honestly, just the fun we've had with the crowd.
Right.
Jenna and I have played wacky games. There are a lot of things that you guys don't see at home behind the scenes during the commercial breaks, taking selfies and talking to folks. It's just been really fun.
And of course, we've got the U.S. gymnasts coming in today, the
big.
women's gymnastics team.
Even I'm a little jittery. I'm excited.
Is that who you're looking forward to here on the plaza?
Everybody wants to see Simone and Suni Lee and all of these girls. I mean, they were able to meet the moment. So we want to salute them.
Absolutely. Now, in our last behind-the-scenes special, we all answered the question, if we had a team sport, Olympic sport, what would it be?
Okay, so is this
I said eating, Craig talking, Savannah said walking, Hoda said beer pong. What would your Olympic sport be?
I want to learn how to surf.
Really?
Yes. I've never tried it. I've never even touched a board, but I want to learn how. Can we make that happen?
I'm going to make this happen.
No, I really want to learn.
No, let's do it.
But I have no concept of how. I've never skateboarded. Like, I have no concept.
So we're going to make this happen.
All right.
Really are.
We'll see
in our last special, we answered viewers' questions. Okay. They came up, and we've got a viewer question. Let's roll the prompter to that viewer question. That would be very helpful. Okay, I guess we don't have the viewer question.
Oh, darn.
So doggone it.
Darn.
You did your Through Mom's Eyes.
Yes.
You've got that great series that
Yes.
we do on the third hour, and you did an Olympic version of it.
You know what? Noah Lyles, one of the Olympians who we'll actually be talking with a little later today. We talked to archery mom, one of the youngest swimmers. She's 15 years old. Her name is Katie. Her mom. It was so fascinating to watch these moms when the cameras weren't rolling, swapping phone numbers so that they can meet up again and bond, because they're in a special club when you're the mother or a parent of an Olympian.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we are just
You can
getting
check that out on the site as well.
And I appreciate you coming in 3 hours early.
So what am I going to do for the next 3 hours now?
Well, I can give you one more thing. Could you help us bring Hinode in?
Come here. You know, Hinode means sunrise. Our new mascot, my fellow petite buddy. What's up, Hinode?
That's right. You are the same size as Hinode.
We are the same size.
I love it. I love it. In fact, we're going to have Hoda Kotb coming in just a little bit. But Hinode had to get here, which is amazing. And so let's take a look at Hinode's journey home.
We were inspired by Japan's love of mascots, so we decided, why not? Let's get one of our own.
I see some picture of the TV studio, and there are very beautiful sets.
All right, now to the big moment. Without further ado, our Today Show mascot is...
One of our brilliant producers here is playing the role.
I was a little bit embarrassed and I didn't really want to tell people that it was me.
Phoebe is an incredibly cultured Japanese scholar. Bonus is she's a fantastic mascot.
That's right. You're going to pick the name.
That's right. A battle at the top between Hinode, which means sunrise, and Kiyokuma, which means today bear.
We're bringing her home.
Here it is, safe and sound.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Hinode! Nice to meet you.
Hinode.
Isn't she the cutest?
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition. Let's go. This is a critical choke point for this fire. And good evening from New Orleans. Nice to really spend some time with you. Appreciate it.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Hey guys, welcome today. So happy you're joining us.
The U.S. swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Hey guys, welcome today. So happy you're joining us.
The U.S. swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. We are here on Olympic Plaza. Our crew is getting this. This is going to be a segment on later. Whoa, they ran like, boy, they just got out of here. Anyway, we're going to be doing a food segment with Candace Kamai here in a little bit. We're giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how the shows are broadcast here on our Olympic Plaza. So if you watched the Today Show, you know in Tokyo, Hoda became America's superfan. In fact, she was the unofficial team mom for Team USA's gymnasts. And nobody could cheer more than our own Hoda Kotb. Check it out.
Gymnastics venue. Hello. I'm sanitizing. I'm taking my temp. We're about to see gymnastics. Did I pass? Yes. Yes. Tip, tip, hooray. Yay. Okay, that's the gymnastics venue right there. We're going to go inside. If and see if Team USA is going to get a medal. Feeling good. Feeling good. Like I should. We're here. Come, let me show you. This is where we walked. Come. These are our lucky seats. My lucky seat. And usually, the gymnastics team is sitting right across from us. We may be a little early. Don't see them yet. Might be a teeny bit early, but we like to be here early because we like to be ready, okay? We like to get ready and get the good luck charms going. Trying to make it back for the show because Jade just won a gold medal. We're going to try to get from here and make it get on the air. Do you think we can make it?
Put it in
my
my
daughter's
pocket, yeah.
dress. She put it in my luggage for good luck. So I took it to the meet and I just started twirling it around and it gave me good luck for all of you.
All right, we're back live, ladies and gentlemen. Hoda, 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 hoda. How are you, baby? Oh.
Hi, Al.
Oh.
How are you?
Oh my gosh, you flew.
This rocks, man.
Is this good?
I'm like shocked.
This is your first look at the Plaza.
I know, you guys, this is awesome. Hi, you guys.
So,
yeah.
So first of all, how are you feeling? I know with the flight you've landed yesterday.
I landed yesterday. By the way, on my flight, as I'm getting my bag and getting on there, I see Simone. Simone Biles was on my flight. I see Grace. I see Suni. I see Jade. I see Jordan. Like the whole crew was on our flight. They were adorable. They're like little girls with huge bags getting on the flight. It was amazing. It was really fun.
So how'd you sleep last night?
You know what? I couldn't get it. Could you get it when you first landed?
Yeah, but it was different because you had the kid, you Haley and Hope. And
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody at home.
By the way, I had a ticker tape parade. It was like a mini ticker tape parade with these two kids. It was amazing to come home, and it's great. Like when we go on these long trips, we miss our kids, but it was so fun to come home last night, Al.
One of the best moments of the Olympics was the fact that Haley had packed a dress in your suitcase.
By the way, I took it everywhere with me.
I know.
Haley kept seeing the dress. She was like, "That's my dress. That's my dress."
Mm-hmm.
And she was asking about if Simone got to see it. Did Simone see her dress?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, she did.
What were they like when you got home?
It was beautiful. I mean, you know what's funny? When you go on a trip that is as satisfying as being able to witness like what we saw at the Olympics, like I loved every second there, but I'm trying to do this thing where I'm doing a be here now,
right.
Like wherever I am. Like I'm at the Olympics, I want to be at the Olympics. I was talking to my kids, but I don't want to spend my whole time thinking, where are my kids?
Right.
And when I was with my kids, I was 100% with them when I got home. They had 2 chairs, Al, pulled up to the front door. They were waiting when I got there. It was the cutest, sweetest. I just hung on last night. I just hung on tight last night.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So we've covered a number of these games. How was Tokyo different for you than others?
It was probably the one I underestimated the most because I thought when we got there, it probably wasn't going to be much access. I said, it's going to be great, but it's not going to have all the things we're used to.
Right.
Al, it was like home run after home run. I mean, I think, you're always so proud of your country, but there was something about this Olympics this time around, what these guys had been through. Like, I felt like my heart swelled like 10 times its size watching our gymnasts, our hockey players, everybody do their thing. I don't know, I felt, I was just surprised at how much these kids could overcome. And I thought about the mental health piece, which is bigger this time than any other time.
Huge.
But I was also thinking, like, these kids are never at home. They don't have any loved one with them. So it's like the most stressful time of their lives, probably. Where's their mom? Not there. Where's their dad? Not there. Where's their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their husband, their wife? They're not there with them. Right. So I feel like that piece of it brought all that stuff to the forefront. So all of a sudden, they felt really super vulnerable.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, talk about rising up, man. Talk about, I can picture Simone walking out on that final day. The beam is not her favorite. It's the one she got the bronze in Rio. She walks out, and I looked at her face, and my heart was like, it's like boom, 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 boom. Like, how's she gonna do? And you watched her just like get the eye of the tiger and nail it. Like, nail it. It was nuts.
And yeah, look, you became the unofficial team mom for the U.S. women's gymnastics team. I mean, you know, they were looking at you. It has to feel kind of good.
Well, I was looking at them. I really was. I was looking at them because I actually, Al, think in my life, I feel like I have a role that I have always played. And that's like, instead of being the person being cheered, I like being the cheerleader. Like, that's my favorite role in life. It always has been. But I think, like, when I was in high school, I was the one who was yelling I would always be that loudest one. Like, the one, they're like, what is she doing? But I feel like in this moment, they always look to their moms and dads. They always looked for somebody. And imagine you're in an empty stadium having the moment of your life and you can hear a pin drop. Nobody's there. Yeah. Now, look, I almost got in trouble while I was there about 10 times.
Yeah, you were, because we weren't supposed to be touching the athletes. And, you know, you get a hug from Simone. And then Suni Lee says, can you give me a hug?
Yes.
I mean, you're being asked to give a hug. How do you say no to that?
Well, I knew it got bad because the IOC people weren't fond of it. Wait, Al, I was at the gymnastics on the last day and I see our security guard. I go, oh, hey, are you here to watch this? He says, no, I'm here to watch you. I go, what? No, Al. I was one day away from being bounced.
You were
one day.
Three strikes and you're out.
I was so close.
So we put out a call to social media, and we want folks to ask questions. So this is from a viewer on Instagram. How many suitcases of your own did you?
One. Only one.
Only one?
I only bring one. No.
Only one?
I underpack. All I did was wear the USA gear. I didn't even wear anything that I brought, but I always just do one. I'm a light packer.
East Coast, when you were there in Tokyo, did you try to stay on East Coast or were you on Tokyo time?
I was on, by the way, I was on both times because I ended up waking up at 4 because, you know, the sun rose at 4 in Tokyo, which was the
land
weirdest.
of the rising sun.
Right. So I woke up at 4, FaceTimed the kids, did a little workout, went for breakfast at 6. And then you realize our show's on in the evening time, so you're trying to pull it through. Yeah. I just went on fumes. I didn't care. I knew I was going to be home soon.
Here's the. I don't think people realize you could have been an Olympian in that you were part of. What was your sport? You did shot put, didn't you?
You know what?
Didn't you do shot put and discus?
My coach was like, in high school, they're like, who's the biggest one? You. Come here. We want you to try it. So I still remember, because throwing the discus in the shot put was fun, but it can get really bad, really bad. I remember I was at a meet, Al. It was like a big meet, and the way it works when you're throwing discus is they call the worst person first with the lowest score. Then it goes down, and my only wish on these things is like, don't call me first, please God, don't call me first, don't call me first. So the announcer goes, Marcia Green or something, and I go, oh thank God, Marcia Green.
Got from Marcia Green.
And the Marcia's not here. Okay, let's go to the next person on the list. Haboko, Kabobi, Botby. I was like, so I get in the ring. This is how you do it. Like I'm throwing this way, you go like this. You spin, throw like that. That's the move. That's the move.
Is that the move? That's the move, ladies and gentlemen.
Ow. 3 times, because there's a gate that goes around. It was like one was there, and one like wafted out. It was like the pits, man. But
be thankful she doesn't have a discus over there.
You're welcome.
Homokomo, ladies and gentlemen.
It's over.
It's over. It's over. When we come back, we're going to pull back the curtain, show you what it feels like to be a guest on today. Silver medalist Michaela Skinner, Krista Palmer. That's right. Take us on a ride from atop the podium to meet Hoda on the Today Show set. But first, one of the biggest questions you asked on social media. What did we eat in Tokyo? So here's a behind-the-scenes look at some of the food.
What did we eat?
Well, take a look.
What
Here it is.
Drink?
Just we drank.
Oh, Krispy Kreme!
Get out of here!
We got a Krispy Kreme! Are you kidding me?
There was nothing like the food.
How's the tempura?
From coffee jelly
I'll be there in a minute. I'm still chewing my coffee.
to mochi.
Delicious.
And maybe just a little bit too much sake.
We should toast.
Carry your drink.
Have you been hitting this early?
To Tokyo.
We gave everything a try.
This is yakisoba pan. It's noodles in a hot dog bun.
Natto.
Natto.
Kind of a cross between beans and a Rice Krispie treat.
Okay.
Even when things got a little sticky.
This is actually stuck to my hand now. Like, I can't. I'm gonna sleep with it.
We weren't complaining, and we couldn't stop eating.
What's your technique?
Just like this. I'll show you. Oh my God. Just hold it up high. Come on, let's see it. Al, lift it up. Oh, that's how you do it.
Oh, no.
Oh, that looks much easier.
Oh. Al's a classy guy.
I know. I need a bib.
Let's go. This is a critical choke point for this fire. And good evening from New Orleans. Nice to really spend some time with you. Appreciate
U.S. swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today. Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here on Olympic Plaza, New York City, along with our mascot, Hinode. Little known fact about Hinode, she actually also edits videotape, even with those little hands. It's very interesting. But nice to see her. She's very talented. One of the reasons we all were in Tokyo to bring you live in-person interviews with the biggest and the best athletes moments after they compete. From the podium to our set, take a look behind the scenes at how they got to us every morning.
Hello Today Show followers, my name is Lucy and I'm about to take you behind the scenes of when an athlete arrives at the set for the Today Show. Every second of the arrival has been perfectly choreographed, and today a behind the scene look at when US gymnast Michaela Skinner joined Today just hours after she won her silver medal on vault, and US diver Krista Palmer joined just a few hours after she won bronze. The Today Show team in Tokyo is made up of 60 people, and it takes 12 of those people to get each Olympian from the podium to our set. It's about an hour before Michaela Skinner joins us on the Today Show when she is met by Ronna Desmond. They come through this entrance here, which is for athletes only. We're very strict on our COVID regulations here, of course. Michaela! You've just arrived to come onto the Today Show to show off that beautiful medal. Let's get you in the lift and get you up to the set. Alrighty. You never know who is going to walk through these doors flashing their medal. Here comes Alex Mazialis from the men's foil fencing team. Congratulations. And up they go, up to the Today Show set where they are met with Hoda and Craig. Up you go. Ready for the Today Show. We're joined by Krista, who's just won bronze in diving. And we're about to walk into the Today Show. So are you stoked about becoming on the Today Show?
I am so excited. This has been like surreal for me, this whole experience, and I'm just looking forward to it.
Backstage, we have 5 makeshift green rooms for guests. In the green room, they take time out and get mic'd up for their interviews. And of course, we offer a wide range of snacks for our Olympians, including sushi rolls, baklava, pizza, udon noodles, and the all-time favorite, mac and cheese.
Okay, I gotta hit the sushi first, that's for sure.
And before they go live, a little fun in our Instagram booth set. Then it's showtime! Michaela waits for the cue that she's live from our stage manager, Yosef. Athletes must be separated. All of the Today Show staff stay 6 feet away from all the athletes at all times. Athletes must remain masked until the moment they go on air. But first, a quick tease to let the audience know Michaela's coming up right after the commercial break. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How are you?
I'm so good.
Okay.
Wow, that's amazing to see. I didn't even know all that was going on. Well, Hanode, did you have a good time today? Thank you. You're very nice. We love our little Hanode. And thank you for joining us for a behind-the-scenes look at today at the Olympic Games. I hope you'll stay tuned all day, today all day, throughout the day, for more interviews with all of your favorite Olympians. For all of us here at the Today Show, welcome to another, thank you for joining us at another edition of Today Behind the Scenes. Say goodbye.
And good evening from New Orleans. Nice to spend some time with you. Appreciate
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for?
Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
I saw for the first time how there was no power, no agency inside of healthcare and its delivery in this country. That regardless whether you are covered, insured, financially stable or not, regardless, across all races, across all ethnicities, you have no power. I personally suffered at the hand of a system such as this. My name is Jenny Joseph, and I'm a midwife. I was 30. I came to Florida. Within a year of being in the United States, I was newly married and trying to find my way. I was working with an obstetrician, and for my whole adult life at that time, I'd had endometriosis, which is not life-threatening, but certainly miserable. And the physician I worked with started talking to me about certain types of surgeries that he could do. So I spent a full year, really, about 4 different surgeries with him. No real results, except for I felt worse, more pain, etc. Finally went for another opinion, and the other physician said, no, the only answer we have for you is we need to remove your uterus, hysterectomy. I was ready, so I said yes. I didn't ask the right questions. I came out of that surgery not only minus my uterus, but minus my ovaries at 30 years old. And that was one of the most horrific awakenings. This was my sort of welcome to America, and I was very overwhelmed by it. And I really I had a sense of such powerlessness around it. My husband was furious. It impacted our lives in a way that I can't describe. Luckily, I already had a child, but obviously that was it for me. And him, it was done. I couldn't just accept it. I couldn't accept it. It got me up on my feet, and I said, all right, watch me. I'm going to fix this mess. And I wanted to fix it for myself, but I also felt like a drive to stand for women and literally stand in that gap and say, no, hang on, this isn't right. The vehicle I used was midwifery because I was already there. I was already a midwife. It's going to be 40 years that I've been doing this work. I feel strongly about how we are, as women, treated in a system where we don't know what to ask. We haven't got a voice. We're not heard. Black women especially are not heard. Native women, Hispanic women, Latinas, any woman who is other is not heard. There's been a lot more talk about maternal mortality recently in the United States. I'm here to say that this is not a new crisis. This has been here. It's just never been really taken care of. Maternal mortality is the death of a woman during pregnancy, labor and delivery, or postpartum. Statistically, it seems to fall around 3 to 4 times as many Black women, African American women, are dying in comparison to white women. This is being called this new crisis because now we're talking about it. I'm so excited about this panel. It is timely. It is like beginning. I see the critical mass beginning around maternal health and maternal mortality issues. Because I feel like I can finally, speak to an audience that is particularly trying to hear. Oh, I am so excited that Senator Harris is going to be there, Dr. Taylor, the people that have been on the ground and are moving forward. An opportunity to be able to present alongside of them and to support their work as well as, show and talk about my own work.
It is my great honor to welcome to the podium Senator Kamala Harris. Please give her a warm welcome.
This is one of those truths that must be spoken. This issue of maternal health care, and in particular, how it relates and affects Black women.
It is an acknowledgement of the fact that women and babies are dying every day in America, and that we could actually do something to stop it. And so the bill is an acknowledgement of the problem, and that is to acknowledge that within the problem, there is an issue of implicit bias. The other part of it is understanding that in order for this to actually work, there has to be a community approach. It's going to be about saying that let's go to the medical schools and encourage that there will be training there about these issues, which are real issues. These are uncomfortable truths we're speaking, right? Nobody wants to hear or even believe that this is happening, but it is. So let's deal with it. Let's take it on.
If you can't get into care, you can't be helped, you can't be triaged, you can't be supported. So we opened up first with the birthing center, but we've expanded that into clinics for women who don't necessarily want a natural birth or a midwife, who actually just want prenatal care, right? And we've offered that you can get seen regardless of who you are, what you have, which card you're carrying, how much money. None of those things are of any interest to us at the beginning. We found that the easiest approach was to go ahead and say, just come on. You belong, you're pregnant, you're asking to be seen, let's go. From there, we can then help you get on Medicaid quicker because we know how to do it. We found that the women themselves relate better to our staff who are more in tune and more culturally congruent with them than the higher end, high credentialed, very expensive practitioners. So it's a midwifery model, which is a person-centered, family-centered, equity-based model. Our statistics literally eradicated prematurity, low birth weight, and morbidity for the women in our care. The same women that again are populating the statistics that we're talking about today. Saying, yes, please, come on in, sit down, wipe your tears, we're here. Which doesn't actually cost any money. We've found that this works. We have been able to replicate our work. We have studies that have proven our outcomes. And I really encourage all of us to start thinking outside the box. This is a matter of life and death. I don't know what we've got to wait for. But I'm worried about the fact that as this is being presented now, much of it ends up still blaming the woman. Wow, now we've discovered she's just too fat. If she wasn't so fat, she wouldn't have died. Oh, her blood pressure's out of control. If she was getting medical care, she wouldn't have had high blood pressure in the first place. And so in the blaming the woman, we're pinpointing what's wrong, but we're not addressing how it got to be wrong. This isn't a matter of women being non-compliant and don't care about their baby. Many of the studies, research will come up with, oh, well, being black is a risk factor. No. Racism is a risk factor. The women that come to us come from all points. I've had one woman who came from Georgia every pregnancy. Just had a woman who came in from New York for a consultation. But what's always interesting to me is that postpartum visit, there are tears. There's, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm not coming anymore. Like, I'm going to miss you guys. I find it extremely worrisome that we have this little short window of time, the childbearing year, when we have some influence and connection with the women and their families, and that just as soon as they're finished and moved on, that they're out there in this void. We really haven't solved the problem. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It doesn't cost any money. It's really a shift of minds. It's an agreement that we are here only to center the mother. We're here only to get that full-term healthy baby that she's looking for, we're looking for, we're all on the same page. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to give up. But I feel like I can do what I do, how I do it, in my little corner. But in the meantime, I still believe strongly that it's time to tell the truth. And so I am clear that no matter what, this work is making a difference, and I'm going to keep going.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement. Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
Swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today.
Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
East Douglas Street and Broadway in Wichita, Kansas. Busy today and 63 years ago when a bus stop set by Dockham Drug Store, a restaurant where riders could sit and have a cup of coffee, unless you were black.
They were on their way to clean white homes, prepare meals for white families, take care of white children. And they might have welcomed on cold mornings to have a hot cup of coffee and sit down inside while waiting for the bus. Well, that wasn't going to happen.
Dockham Drug Store probably isn't in your history books, but it would become the site of a civil rights breakthrough that's only beginning to get recognition.
If you wanted to get something to eat at the Dockham Drug Store, how did it happen then?
Well, they politely told us we could get food to carry out.
Segregation was not reserved for the South. In the 1950s, aspects of black and white communities in Wichita were very much separate and unequal.
Certainly, I can remember having to, if I went to a movie theater downtown, having to sit in the balcony. I couldn't sit on the main floor.
The young adult chapter of the NAACP decided to press for equality at Dockham, hoping change at one store would ripple through the franchise. They prepared for months, and in July of 1958, one of the leaders of the sit-in, Carol Parks Hahn, dressed in her Sunday best, sat at the counter and asked for a Coke. She was followed by one black student after another, each taking a seat at a stool. They simply wanted to sit and have a soda. They were denied the request. Peggy Wesley was just 15 at the time.
We just went in shifts and sat there, and we were very quiet. If somebody said anything to us, we were not to respond to any negativity, of course, and name calling and whatever, and there was a lot of that.
This is the only photo that exists of the sit-in, published in the local African-American newspaper. The threat of violence, always a concern.
A young white male looked up and saw me, and he turned so he would bump me, and he didn't hurt me, but I knew why he did that.
The sit-in went on for 3 weeks until the owner of Dockham Drugstore walked in and told the store manager to serve them. He was losing too much business.
We were just elated when we finally could sit down and have a soda with our friends at the counter.
The Rexall drugstore chain joined its Dockham franchise in abolishing discriminatory practices at their stores nationwide, making the Dockham drugstore sit-in the first successful student-led sit-in of the civil rights era, according to the NAACP. The famous lunch counter sit-ins in Greensboro, North Carolina, began a year and a half later in 1960.
What did you think when the word started to reach you that this was starting to happen in other cities?
That there is such a thing as positive contagion. Growing up at that point in time, you better damn sure make sure that it's something positive that you can go home about and feel proud about.
Quiet pride, you might say. The story of their sit-in barely known within many in the black community in Wichita.
And I grew up with so many of you, and there were a lot of us who had no idea that the man who was sitting right next to me in church had gone through all of those things. Right. How is it that folks weren't talking about this? I didn't know this.
It was another event in our lives that was over, and it didn't appear to be a big thing then. Most of our parents who were not involved in the NAACP didn't know that we were doing that.
Did your father know what you were doing?
No, he didn't. I never did disclose to him.
We really didn't talk about it, and in fact, my daughters didn't even know I had not spoken about it to them.
A little-known sit-in, a peaceful act of courage for the right to be treated equally.
What would you say to teenagers now who have that itch to fight for civil rights? What advice would you give to a young person now, almost 60 years later?
The water's fine. It may be too cold sometime, or maybe too warm even sometime, but seriously, you'll feel better about yourself if you strive to make this a better world, a better community.
Man, wow.
I have so many takeaways. I could talk about this for the next hour, but I think if there is any takeaway, when we talk about Black History Month, we often talk about Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, trailblazers for sure in their own right. But I guarantee you, if you're watching right now, there are trailblazers in your community, your neighbors, somebody who sits next to you at church, and sometimes they're just not sharing their stories. Mm-hmm. So I think it's so important to sit down and to talk to our relatives and to hear what they have to say. And really quickly, coming up in our third hour, we track down the granddaughter of the owner of the store at the time.
Oh, wow.
And she has something to say.
Oh, now I have chills. Oh, gosh.
What did they do with that building there in Wichita? Is it still there?
Not there anymore. Yeah, I mean, it was
60 years ago.
Sure.
I like his last comment. The water's fine.
Water's just fine.
That was that was beautiful.
Maybe warm.
Yes,
Come on.
yes. And thank you guys for talking with me. They, my grandmother had to call them and get them to talk.
Your grandma could be
right after it was over, Peggy said, "Okay, can you call your grandmother now and tell her that I talked to you?" So
I just love the synergy though, like the full circle, and now that you get to tell their story. What
such
an
an honor.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for?
Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Poetry. What comes to mind?
Growing up in Kansas City, Missouri, Marjay Neal suffered a childhood of abuse and homelessness.
I had two sisters, and we were very poor. There were times where we did not have food for ourselves. The moment that we got evicted and we ultimately had to go to the homeless shelter was one of the darkest times. I knew that life wouldn't be the same after this.
While living in the shelter, Marjay's mother insisted she attend an art workshop put on by Halo, a nonprofit that provides housing and education to thousands of at-risk children around the world.
She came to Halo pretty quiet and reserved and very much on guard.
She was very angry. She didn't know how to express the things that she had been through.
I was a very defensive child because I had to be. I kept everybody at arm's length. I want that love, but I'm scared to receive it. I'm scared that you might leave after you love me.
But after more visits to Halo, Marjay started opening up.
As she grew, her story just started to change a little bit. She started having these little pivotal moments.
The room was just full of love. There's art supplies everywhere. And as an artsy creative child, I was in heaven.
I could tell that she was using words to process the things that she had been through and try to work through them on paper.
In high school, Marjay discovered her passion for poetry and started competing at the national level.
I wrote my first poem about a traumatic childhood experience. Poetry provides a lot of relief. Like the sky before a much needed rain.
She's one of our best poets, individuals in the audience who are complete strangers to are in tears. She's touched them in such a way.
When I write in pen because it's permanent. And although some feelings aren't permanent, you have to remember where you come from in order to grow and get to where you've been.
Now 20 years old, Marjay is studying journalism on a full-ride scholarship to the University of Missouri and returns to Halo to lead writing workshops for teens.
Marjay has such an incredible story of resilience to share. She's like a megaphone for these kids who are suffering through the same type of thing that she did. They can see themselves in her,
Poetry has saved my life in multiple different ways. If somebody gets something from my poem and my experiences, then my job is done.
In February, Marjay shared her story in a documentary that debuted at Halo's annual auction. The event raised $650,000 for homeless youth. But it was Marjay who received the biggest surprise of all.
So there's someone else who heard your story and wanted to interview you.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, Marjay. Hi, I'm so glad to meet you.
It was surreal. I would never in a million years would have thought that you would be saying my name.
When you read your words, you know that comes from such a deep, powerful, and soulful space. You're a shining example of what is possible for everybody.
What a journey for Marjay. She is showing you that artistry can really create a path for success.
Where you come from doesn't define who you are, but it can influence where you go. Anything is possible if you put in the work, if you move with love, and you have passion and purpose.
Marjay hopes to one day publish a book of her work, and we know she will. What a talent. To check out the full documentary featuring Marjay's journey, head to hodaandjenna.com.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprise.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Let's go.
And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
So over the past year, I'd say a lot of people have picked up new hobbies to pass the time or to relieve stress, and knitting has become a popular one.
I recently got to catch up with two women who've been at it for years, knitting their way through tough times, happy times, and even weaving their way into history. They even gave me the chance to join their stitch circle for an afternoon. There's this community. You guys are known as knitfluencers?
I would probably say we're more fiber friends.
Meet Cecilia Nelson Hurt and Darcy Kern, stitching together a pastime with a purpose.
I learned to crochet when I was a kid from my grandmother, and my mother taught me to knit when I was in high school.
So what is crocheting versus what is knitting?
So crocheting is one needle with a hook. And so think granny squares, right, from the 70s. And knitting is what Darcy is doing, and it's two needles.
Cecilia and Darcy are part of a global community of knitters. Now, how did you two hook up? No pun intended.
I started following Cecilia she does posts visiting all these yarn shops all over the world. And I call them yarncations.
What I appreciate about the international aspect is picking up yarn that's not available here. And then that yarn holds a special memory. And then I'm gonna make something really nice this reminds me of when we were in Paris and we went to Amy's yarn shop and I got this beautiful yellow.
For them, knitting is so much more than a hobby. As knitters of color, does your culture influence how you knit and what you knit?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. I feel like when I'm in a stitch night, I feel that connection to other women. I do think it's important.
We've all been stuck inside. It's a fact that COVID has disproportionately affected people of color.
Yeah.
Add to that, the death of George Floyd. and Breonna Taylor. Would you say that knitting is not just healing, but something that helps you cope?
I did hear from a lot of people in the community that they lost their knitting mojo, but when they regained it, they were able to knit through the grief. There are plenty of women who make prayer shawls where they pray as they're knitting and then they gift that item away.
Whenever something's like stressing me out, like I'll tell my husband, like I'm about to go knit about it. And that is how I just kind of process what's going on.
Inspired by a photo of abolitionist and woman suffrage activist Sojourner Truth, Darcy began a project called Knitting While Black.
I thought to myself, that is a really amazing photo. I bet there are more photos of Black people knitting. And I searched and I found like, I think 1,400 results with the keyword knitting or knit, and only 3 or 4 of them were Black people. And I know that back then, Black people were doing this, but no one turned it into art. So I decided that I was going to find photos or paintings and I was going to recreate them with myself as the subject and to share some kind of contemporary history about Black people during the same time that art was made.
Even though the world's been put on pause, knitters everywhere are finding common threads.
I'm Christian, but there's a group of Muslim dyers who have created a month-long wool club. Each one is inspired by a different Ramadan tradition. So I've been able to learn a lot about Ramadan through buying this yarn. So the fiber community is full of people who want to learn about others.
And we brought in someone very special who's the knitter in my family to join our stitch circle. Hey, sweetheart.
Hi.
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 My daughter, Leela. How do you find the ends?
There you go. You hold your yarn and then if you wrap it around your finger and then you do a twist.
Oh, I like that.
Is Mom there to help you?
It's been an honor really meeting you ladies. I have, and just to get a chance to see my girl. So this has been great. Look at you go. Look at you.
She's a natural.
So it runs in the family, but didn't come from you.
No, nothing to do with it. Deborah used to knit, so they came by it really honestly.
Hey gang, welcome to Today All Day. The next 30 minutes you'll be hanging with me, and I have some of my favorite original videos just for you, full of inspiration and hope. So take a seat, get a tissue, come along for the ride as we hear words of wisdom from some of my favorite people.
I have to say, I love Olympic Hoda.
Yeah.
Out of the studio, sweatshirt. She's so pumped up. She's getting me pumped up for
I know.
Tokyo. She's also going to help us meet 6 remarkable athletes who just made their Olympic dreams a reality.
She's even wearing the uniform.
I know.
The U.S. women's gymnastics team was selected in St. Louis late last night, and after they revealed who else would they sit with first, our Hoda.
Oh.
Of course.
SG, guys, it was so much fun. If you weren't pumped for the Olympics yesterday, you are today. The energy in the dome behind me was electric. You could literally feel it. It was packed. 21,000 strong in the audience. They were cheering, they were screaming, they were doing the wave, and there was some serious star power on this team, okay? We all know and we all love Simone Biles, okay? She's going to be joined by 5 other phenomenal athletes who are ready for Tokyo, and you're going to want to know these names. Here we go. Are you ready? Simone, Michaela, Jordan, Suni, Jade, and Grace.
Let's hear it for your women's gymnastics team, USA!
It's the moment that changed their lives forever. Meet the 6 stars who will shine bright for Team USA in Tokyo. Raise your hand if you're freaking out. Simone, you too?
Yeah, I mean, it's so real. It's been a long journey.
Simone Biles.
There's one the world already knows very well, Simone Biles.
Spectacular.
The greatest of all time, ready to add more medals to her collection.
Wow.
An alternate for the Rio Games, Michaela Skinner will finally have her time on the Olympic stage.
This is wild.
18-year-old Suni Lee is ready to make her mark too.
She's a rock star.
20-year-old Jordan Childs, named after basketball legend Michael Jordan, now proving that she is a force to be reckoned with.
Nice technique.
Two more new faces who will now be household names, Grace McCullum and Jade Carey.
A ton of difficulty.
All ready to go for gold in Tokyo. But it was an emotional road to get here. Simone, I know you, and I've known you for a long time, and I love you dearly and deeply. When I see your emotions on display, I feel you.
Yeah.
Just describe how you're feeling this time around.
A little bit more tired this time around. I'm a little bit older, so I get tired quicker. But I was really happy, but I was just sad because everybody came out here to watch us and I didn't give them my best performance.
Not her best, but still the best. And while the crowd celebrated her with a standing ovation, it was Simone who turned around and cheered on her teammate and friend, Jordan Childs. Jordan.
Yes.
You're going to the Olympic Games. You, my friend, are an Olympian. Simone Biles wrapped her arms around you in that moment. Tell me what it felt like to know you made that team.
It was honestly the most amazing feeling of my life. Having her by my side 24/7 and giving me encouraging words every day definitely helped, and it was very motivational.
Y'all are cute, Biles and Childs. Michaela, this dream, some dreams take a long time. Some happen overnight, and some take a while, but as they always say, your dream is right on time.
Mm-hmm.
So as you venture out and you realize that you're about to step into a big dream, how will you sleep tonight? What will you be thinking about?
I don't think I'll be sleeping. Even after last Olympics, kind of being so close to it, I'm really glad that I never gave up my dream and I kept going.
You had a tough year, boy. I mean, I know that you went through a lot. I know you had COVID. I know you were hospitalized. I know that you wondered, am I ever going to get back to my performing best? Mm-hmm. Look at you.
I know. I survived.
Who's the oldest one? Is it Simone or is it you?
It's me.
Wait,
Michaela's me beat by 3 months.
Yeah.
So you're both 24, you're 3 months older? Mm-hmm. So you no longer have the elder statesman title? Grandma has gone over there?
I feel like we both share. It's like 50-50.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, you all do kind of care for the other members of your team.
Yeah, of course.
And what do you get out of that, Simone?
We get our youth back. I mean, they keep us going, especially in those workouts in the gym. And we've had such hard times, but seeing the younger ones come up, it's been motivational.
What freaks me out about watching you guys, and literally I was binge eating while you all were competing, but it just struck me, you guys, that you practice since you're a child, and it comes down to 30 seconds, 1 minute. So Grace, describe that feeling.
Yeah, I think you just have to remember, I've done 1,000 of these routines in the gym, so you just have to trust yourself and trust your gymnastics and that you know what you're doing.
For Suni, this isn't only her dream come true, but her dad's. Her biggest fan has faced his own challenges. Just 2 years ago, an accident left him paralyzed. I wasn't sure if I was more emotional watching you or watching your dad up there.
Yeah.
Did you feel him?
I did. It took me a minute to realize that I was going to the Olympics, but I looked up there and I knew that he was very emotional, and so was the rest of my family.
Well, I loved in one of your interviews you said you didn't describe it as your dream, you said it was our dream.
This has been our dream for the longest, basically since I was a baby. He's been by my side through everything, so to have him here at the Olympic trials with me is something that was so amazing.
Just the dismount.
Come on, Jade.
Very nice.
Jade's going to the Olympics. Oh my gosh, has that just sunk in? Your dad's coaching you, you're going to the Olympic Games.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm really glad that I have my dad to share it with.
That is true. So your dad's going to be, is that your dad the only parent who's going to be there? Yeah, right, because he's coaching. Yeah. Well, your dad's going to have to share and help out with everybody. You guys, we are going to be cheering you on. You may not have your moms and your dads and your friends, but you'll have us.
We have photo.
Oh, they're going to have all of us, you guys. They are on fire. I can't tell you how emotional and beautiful it was. You saw Simone have that stumble on the beam, and she got very emotional afterwards. She says all of her emotions are heightened, but she came back. She did a great job. So we're pumped, man. We're ready for Tokyo.
Yes, we are.
Pump on a sub, Hoda. You should go speak to every American team that's going to compete in Tokyo and just give them like a hype speech.
Oh, Carson, they are so ready for us. And I have to tell you, listening to that crowd scream, they were doing the wave like it was insane in there. It was like being at a rock concert, Carson. So I think it's going to be different there. They're going to be relying on each other. But I said, man, they got Team NBC. They got nothing to worry about. We'll be there with them.
Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's go. This is a critical choke point for this fire. And good evening from New Orleans. Nice to really spend some time with you. Appreciate
it. The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back. It's been just over 6 months since our dear friend Bobby Thomas, today's style editor, lost her husband, Michael.
Yeah, anybody who knew Bobby, whether it's in person or through TV, knows that she wears her heart squarely on her sleeve. And when Bobby realized that opening up about her own journey could possibly help someone else, she knew right away it was the right time to share not just her grief, but her courage and her gratitude.
I don't need to be told there was a silver lining or a bigger reason. There isn't. And that is okay for me to feel. At the same time, I'm also holding gratitude.
And what do you have gratitude for, Bobby?
My son. And I have gratitude for being loved.
A love that was sealed on a glorious summer day when Bobby got married at Kathy Lee's house. I remember it so vividly. It was one of the most beautiful days.
I was so scared. And I remember Kathy Lee saying, "This is happening. We're walking." Michael was just so happy.
I promise to always support you and love you unconditionally and to take care of you as long as we both shall live.
He would just look across the room and say, "Hey, we have a really good thing, right?" And I'd say, "Yeah." We were so deeply bound.
That bond carried Michael and Bobby through the good times and the challenging ones. Shortly after their fairy tale wedding in 2013, Bobby and Michael publicly shared their very personal journey to parenthood.
It takes a village to raise children, but to make them too.
We celebrated alongside them when they revealed they were expecting.
Can we say that again? Bobby is pregnant.
She is pregnant.
Thank God.
Yes.
Thank God.
And when they welcomed little Miles into their lives. But 4 years later, at just 40, Michael would suffer a stroke while on a business trip. Remarkably, he recovered. Then, in the fall of 2020, Michael developed a bacterial infection that led to complications he could not overcome.
When we heard the news that Michael had passed, it was so devastating and shocking. Was it something that you expected?
It was 5 weeks in the ICU, and it was just one thing after the other, like a domino effect. It was multiple organ failure. I knew he had been diagnosed with something rare before we got married. It had to do with his immune system, and it was always positioned as chronic and manageable. Deep inside, I knew that we may not be holding hands at 80, 90.
But Bobby cherishes the time she did have with Michael.
When Michael and I were going through some of the hardest times, it was so simple. That simplicity was magic. You woke up, you worried about what mattered, and you were so grateful for what you had.
It's so weird to think about little conversations. Oh, my husband did this, my husband did that.
It's okay, my friends still call me and, we'll do the, this happened. And you feel ashamed for being in pain, but you still want people to share things with you and make you feel connected. But it is wild to experience the clarity.
What does that mean?
In the middle of those conversations, to want to support your friend and her perspective of what's happening, but to deeply feel the clarity of, it doesn't matter. Who cares that he didn't do the laundry? I'm sorry it's annoying, but he's here. And I wake up trying to find some t-shirts that still smell like Michael. Which ones weren't washed,
Subways are trains to travel underground.
What? And at just 5, their son Miles is also looking for ways to cope.
That's the most painful because I'm his mom. One night at bedtime, he asked me, who invented it and why? And I thought he was gonna ask me about a truck or something. Yeah. And he said, this life. I was stunned. Yeah. And he's like, I just don't understand why we all can't be angels. And he was still trying to figure out how we could all be together. Oh my God!
What do you think Michael would be thinking right now of you and Miles and where you are in this moment?
He had this easiness to him, and I was always stressing out. And he would just be like, it's okay, it's gonna be okay.
He always did say that, didn't he?
I think he's probably trying to tell me it's gonna be okay in some way.
Is it gonna be okay?
I hope so. I'm so scared.
You said, in this moment, I'm so lucky. How?
Instead of worrying about that I lost him, I think the little time he had, he gave to me. And I'm really, really lucky.
And Bobby is obviously in a lot of grief, but she says that grief is, she actually sits with that because it reminds her of how much she loved and loves him, continues to love him. She actually said she's more in love today, on that day than she has been throughout her marriage to Michael. And the other thing she said, which struck me, was if we're thinking about reaching out to somebody and you're afraid, like, not right now, she was like, just do it. Yeah. Just do it, because sometimes we're afraid. And she was touched. I told her when I left, Savannah was like, please, and I said, Savannah was, when I left, she was, everyone's embracing you. We have your arms around you. And she got weepy and she said, that's my other family. So,
I love her so much. Yeah. I mean, just what she's doing amazes me. She's so strong, but she's also sincere. She tells the truth.
Yes.
It hurts. But she's also that love that she's feeling for for Michael and missing him. It means a lot to Miles too.
Yes.
To see that love.
But the idea that she said she's not sure it's going to be okay.
Not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's healing to a lot of people. Her sincerity, you don't know who she may have touched even this morning.
And by the way, she kept saying, and she almost felt guilty about feeling bad. She goes, do you know how many more people have lost people over this pandemic? But anyway, she says it's okay when people say it's going to get better, you're going to meet someone. She said, please don't say those kinds of things. Yeah. I think people do it with good intent, but
and there's no right way to grieve. I mean, there isn't,
Everybody's journey.
Yes, but our hearts are with Bobby.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Hey guys, welcome to
best swimming star, Katie Ledecky, in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app. Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing. So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for?
Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Shining a light on one of Hoda's favorite organizations.
So pumped up, guys. It's called Groove With Me, a community that was hard hit by the pandemic, and I'm real happy to donate to that group. And thankfully, the kids are now back in class, and this summer marks its 25th year. So we thought something special was in order. So we had this idea. So one of my favorite photographers is YouTube star Jordan Matter. He takes iconic photos of dancers and other action heroes. Well, he's also taken a few shots of someone really near and dear to me. It was actually my very first photo shoot with Haley. So anyway, Jordan agreed to take pictures of the Groove With Me girls out on the town for their very own celebrity shoot. Take a look.
Wow.
When I was born, I knew dance was gonna be the only thing I would ever want to do.
I'm capable of anything when I dance.
It's just me feeling every emotion that I feel in my body.
Dancing makes me feel like I should just spread love. Whenever I spin, I feel like I'm a bird in the air just spinning on a nice fluffy cloud.
Groove With Me it's like a second home. That's what it is.
Outside of Groove With Me, I'd say our girls have to grow up fast.
Our neighborhood is like a cave with a bunch of bears fighting because a lot of people fight in our neighborhood.
Living in East Harlem, you always have to be very cautious. There's people who secretly carry guns, people who try to rob you, and then people who are drunk all the time.
But while they're at Groove With Me, they have a completely different experience.
You feel safe and free and ready just to fly to get out of what struggles you have.
When I see the little kids dancing, it feels nostalgic because it's like I was in their shoes once.
I know that they're trying their best. The bigger girls impress me by doing all these things. That makes me feel like you gotta keep trying and trying.
Black and brown girls in East Harlem attend college at a lower rate than the national average. But 100% of girls at Groove With Me attend college because girls at Groove With Me have learned that they matter.
I see other people graduate high school or graduate college. It helps me not give up on me.
It makes me feel really special, which is what I'm supposed to feel about myself.
When COVID hit, we thought we'd be closed for 2 weeks. We were closed for 8 months.
I was like, what am I gonna do? Am I still gonna be a famous dancer when I grow up? I was crying.
The girls didn't have a place to go outside of home.
I actually lost one of my grandmas, which made me very, very sad. We didn't say goodbye to her. We didn't hug her. When I finally got to come back, I was so happy. so happy. When I say so happy, I mean so happy.
We raised 85% less this year than in previous years. If we don't raise the money, obviously we can't run the program.
If I could never dance, I would be heartbroken because dancing is my life.
We don't care if they become dancers. We care that they feel good about themselves so they make good choices and they get to have great futures.
When I grow up, I want to be a businesswoman.
I want to be a clinical psychologist,
a doctor, an astronomer. I'm gonna be famous.
When they tell me these big careers, it provides hope, that they're looking at where they are right now and noticing that it isn't permanent.
When people see me dance, I want them to know that you gotta believe in yourself.
If you believe that you can go that high and you can go that far, then you will. What I learned from With Me is that you're not alone and that when life brings you down, stand up and dance to fly above it.
Wow. Come on, didn't you fall in love? You kind of did. Right? We want to thank Jordan Matter for taking those incredible shots. He's got great work. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a book out. But when you go back to Groove With Me for those kids, it gave them some place to go after school, a purpose. So while other kids didn't have a place to go, they did. The high school graduation rate is in the 90+, and again, the college graduation rate, 100%. So Abby McGrath, who's the founder of that organization, is doing a great job.
The photographs are so beautiful. They should make a table book and sell it.
Ooh, that's a great
and all
idea.
the proceeds should go to Groove With Me.
That's brilliant.
How about that?
You could raise money for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
It's brilliant.
Oh my goodness.
Why not? It's absolutely beautiful. Y'all right
Of
over
all
there.
the stories we heard today, this is what I'm like bawling over. But I will say this, as a short brown girl who used to dance, when you think of ballet, you think of these tall swan-like figures. So it's challenging sometimes to love to dance, but not look like what a dancer is supposed to look like. So when you go to a class like that and you look around, there are other girls who look like you, and it feels good. I live in Harlem. I know what they're going through. So it just hit me on so many levels. That is so important. That program is so important.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day. Let's change the world. Love it!
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
If there ever was a list of people we'd love to have as our first studio guest back in the studio, you better believe numero uno would be the lady we have today, Tina Fey.
Yes, we made the list. She's on it. She's a 9-time Emmy winner. And while some of us were catching up on old shows over quarantine, Tina was working on new ones, including the hilarious Hoda's very favorite show of all time, Girls Five Eva. It's about a one-hit wonder girl group from the 90s who reunite for a second chance at fame.
And we are so happy to have Tina here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1 year with Tina Fey! Yes!
We did it!
Yes! We did it!
We did it!
Hi, Tina!
Hi, Tina. We're so sorry we don't have a bus, but our budget is a little.
We're the fourth hour.
Yeah.
We're going to get you a cab. But how do you? We want to congratulate you first and foremost. We've got a second season. Because I'm part of.
Yeah,
By the way, 100%.
She
now.
actually is a producer. I don't know if you know that.
I feel like, we have season 2 was announced yesterday. Girls Night Ever will be doing a season 2, which is fantastic news, mostly for Hoda, but for us as well.
No, Hoda sent me the first 5 episodes, and she is your #1 fan.
I was literally begging Jenna to watch. I said
she didn't have to beg me too
I
hard.
didn't. Yeah,
but the best part is that she also says you'll relate with this part. For example, when Paula Pell sweats a lot,
sweats through her clothes,
and throws water. But the writing is so funny, and it is relatable, even though it's about something that most of us will not experience, which is being in a wonder group.
Yeah, even though it's about women who are in a band, it's super relatable. Meredith Scardino is the writer-creator, and she is one of the funniest humans ever. And yeah, it's really about kind of like, you know who you were when you were 20, but who are you now when you're about 40, and what friendships do you bring with you, and and I think also in terms of pop music and culture, we're all looking back now at the 90s being like, oh, some of the stuff we thought was normal was not normal.
Yes.
That's very true.
Well, it's funny, the writing's funny, the singing is funny, but it also has a real soul to it. I like that part of the show. And it's kind of cool to watch these girls find their voice in their 40s and 50s. I was just curious, when did you feel like, you know what, actually, I'm saying what I think now. Now I'm stepping up for myself.
That's a great question. I think, somewhere after 40, where you just feel a calm about no, I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. I think that was a good turning point for me personally.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. You have 2 girls, and one of them is in this show. Stars as Busy Phillips' daughters. What's it like to watch them come into their own? Because so many times as moms, we want to hold their hands. Were you a stage mommy?
The only stage mom thing I did that I was like, wow, this is not great, was our daughter Penelope was on set, and she was doing a great job. And then, it takes a long time to shoot things, and it was getting to be when you kind of try to finish stuff before you break for lunch. There she is. And I had a moment where I thought she was getting a little tired, and I was like, give her a Snickers. Which is the worst kind of stage mom thing to be like, give them a Red Bull. But I didn't give her a Red Bull. Snickers.
By the way, I have to say, these women sing so beautifully, and I'm convinced that one of their songs is going to wind up on the charts because
it's going to tuck it into existence.
I was a Brady Bunch fan. I think I'll go for a walk outside now. The summer sun's calling my name. I mean, if it is possible there, I think it can be possible. You guys do have an album out, essentially, right?
Yeah, we have this album out. What happened was that, there are, I think, something like 31 songs or tiny pieces of songs in the first season. And some of them you just hear a tiny snippet. But then we realized, because it was Peacock, that we could have end credits sequence, that Jeff Richmond, our composer, and Meredith were like, oh, we should finish the songs. And so it was so funny to hear, we'd hear a little bit of Dawn's I'm Afraid song about all her anxieties, and then Meredith would send the rest. She would write the rest of the lyrics, and they would literally be handing them to Sarah in the booth, being like, sing this now. And people were just crying, laughing in the booth at these new jokes and also at her beautiful voice.
People should listen to I'm Afraid, but do it when your kids aren't in the room, but it is so hilarious.
Hi, Today All Day. We've got a great show for you on this Monday morning, including an all-day exclusive chat you can only see here. Let's kick it off with the return of pop star. Check it out.
First up, some sad news this morning. Beloved actress Markie Post has died after a nearly 4-year battle with cancer. She is best known for her role as public defender Christine Sullivan on the hit NBC sitcom Night Court. NBC News Now anchor Joe Fryer is here with more on her life and career. Good morning to you.
Hey there, good morning. That's right. Remarkably, Markie Post continued to act despite her cancer diagnosis. Her family and co-stars say she'll be remembered not just for her talent on screen, but also her kindness and resilience behind the scenes.
Markie Post was a beloved performer, gracing Americans' televisions for years, most famously in NBC's hit Night Court.
My clients plead innocent, Your Honor.
What grounds?
Well, they claim to be victims of a mind meld.
She played the sincere public defender Christine Sullivan, who passionately represented offbeat characters in trouble with the law.
I can't help it, sir. I love this job. Helping the downtrodden, serving justice gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it makes my skin crawl, too.
Post starred on the long-running show for 7 years, just part of a career that spanned 4 decades. Among her other best-known roles, bail bondswoman Terry Michaels in the adventure series The Fall Guy.
Colt, I have got to get this guy back. I'm going to be out a lot of money.
And Cameron Diaz's mom in the 1998 comedy There's Something About Mary. She also had appearances in Cheers.
You are a very attractive man, but for me to give up my friendship with Diane, you'd have to be rich, too.
And Scrubs.
When she's depressed, she hits a bag of Doritos like there's diamonds at the bottom.
After a nearly 4-year fight with cancer, Post passed away Saturday at the age of 70.
Peggy!
Despite her diagnosis, her family says she was determined to keep acting between chemo treatments, even guest starring on the series The Kids Are All Right. Her family writes, "Our pride is in who she was in addition to acting, a person who made elaborate cakes for friends, sewed curtains for first apartments, and showed us how to be kind, loving, and forgiving in an often harsh world." Post co-stars are also remembering their friend. From Night Court's John Larroquette, "We all wish she could have stayed longer, but we thank the cosmos for blessing us and enriching the world with her for as long as it did."
Now, in the 90s, Markie Post starred in the political sitcom Hearts of Fire. Her father was played by Ed Asner, who yesterday called her a true talent. One of Post Night Court co-stars was Charles Robinson, who played the court clerk Mac. He passed away just last month at the age of 75.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Next up, some breaking news from Jon Stewart and Pete Davidson. The duo just announced an upcoming comedy show set to take place here in New York next month, titled NYC Still Rising After 20 Years, a comedy celebration. The show in remembrance of the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Davidson's father, a New York City firefighter, died in those attacks. And Stewart, of course, has been an outspoken proponent for the First Responders Victims Compensation Fund. Now look at this. As for the show, it will be on September 12th at Madison Square Garden. Look at the folks featuring an all-star lineup of comedians. Look at this. Amy Schumer, Jimmy Fallon, Colin Jost, Colin Quinn, Dave Chappelle, John Mulaney, Michael Che, and Wanda Sykes. All proceeds from the show will go to benefit 9/11 charities. Tickets go on sale this Friday.
Jon Stewart picked up the phone and called all of his
friends.
friends.
And everyone said yes.
Yes,
Exactly. All right, next up, big news from the set of the highly anticipated Sex and the City reboot. Any Sex and the City fans? Yes? John James Preston, a.k.a. Mr. Big, is officially back. Actor Chris Knopf sharing this pic over the weekend alongside co-star Sarah Jessica Parker, captioning the post, "Together again." SJP revealing her own look at Carrie and Big's latest chapter with this photo, writing, "These two, I bet they stay out late tonight." It's been more than 10 years since fans saw the on and off again couple finally tie the knot on show's big screen sequel. And it looks like things are finally working out for Carrie's love life in this reboot. The upcoming series, And Just Like That, is currently in production. No date for the release, but it's going to be on HBO Max and people are looking forward to it.
Wow, it's a packed pop star.
Next on Today Talks, Dylan gives us a peek at something special she's been working on.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go. Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day. Wherever you are, Today is there. Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day. Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
Welcome back. Today in the third hour, Dylan reveals a real page-turner she's been working on.
Okay, it is time for Overheard on Third on the Plaza. Dylan has been juggling a lot lately, including her newest children's book. I just told her during the commercial break, I'm like, it's real.
I know, it's really
been talking about this for a long time. So in Parents Magazine, she's talking about Misty the Cloud and how it has been really years in the making.
Yeah, no, it's something Brian and I came up with, well before we ever thought about having kids. So we talk about that in the article, where the idea came from. I also talk about some of my favorite books that I like reading to the boys and what I liked reading growing up. And there's one story I tell. It's funny because I'll read a book and I read it, word for word as is. When my father-in-law reads the book to the kids, he makes all the characters family members. So then when I go back to read the book later, Calvin's like, no, that's you. That's Ollie. That's so it makes it very confusing when it comes to telling the story. But it's a nice little article, and the book comes out September 28th.
Well, congratulations, Misty the Cloud. Seriously, there was a day when I first met Dylan, like soon after, she was talking about this idea for a children's book. And so now, almost 7-8 years later.
I said, here's a rough draft. Can you read it to your kids?
Oh my gosh.
Like it?
And now it'll be in bookstores. Which
which I'm so excited.
Okay.
So you can pick up that Parents Magazine on stands now, I think. Yeah. Okay, we wanted to do something different, a little bit unusual. We've got a Jenga set out here, and some of these have actual questions from you folks here at Plaza.
So they Podium.
I don't know why you didn't just ask us in person, but we put them on a Jenga box.
Okay, so here we go. You go first.
You go first?
Yeah. So what
Actually,
happens if it falls?
Which it could fall. It's like humid out here. You can't play Jenga when it's humid. I'm going to take the top one. Okay. What's your go-to karaoke song? Good question. Mine is "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Billy Joel.
Mine
Do you even know that
is
song?
We Didn't Start the Fire. Yeah. Mine is "Honey, I'm Home" by Shania Twain. Don't get me started. I don't know, for some reason, all day. I can do that one. All right, here's another one. This one says, if you could cameo in a TV show, what would it be and why?
A current or past
Whatever
TV
you want.
Mine obviously would be Seinfeld, just because I feel like my life revolves around Seinfeld.
Oh my gosh. You know what show I wanted to be on so badly? You guys probably won't know the show. It was called Kids Incorporated.
I remember Kids Incorporated.
Did you just hit me? No, I'm just kidding.
I love that show.
I would watch it.
K-I-D.
Yes.
Oh, it's like I made it to kids.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you know Kids Incorporated.
Of course I know Kids Incorporated.
Okay.
Okay. What shows are you currently binging? I actually just wrapped up Black Monday on Showtime. We've had, a lot of the cast on the show over the years. Andrew Reynolds is on the show. Such a good show. I mean, dark and crass, but I mean.
And to continue the dark theme, pass the baton, Dr. Death on Peacock.
Oh,
so
good.
good.
Them on the show.
I know, so good with Christian Slater.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, are we out of time? Oh, do we have time for one more?
Time for one.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's your turn.
Is it my turn? I'm gonna go for.
It's hard because they're like it's
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, the question is, what did you want to be when you quote unquote grew up?
It's your question.
This.
Really?
5th grade career day. I have a sheet of yellow construction paper, helmet hair, hoop earrings, and I have those squiggly lines. 5th grade. Thank you, Mrs. James.
I remember preschool, we did, what do you want to be when you grow up, and you had to dress up like it. So I brought a curling iron in with me because I really wanted to, be a hairstylist.
Oh, there you go. So we still have some kind of curls.
Yeah, but I didn't do them.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
Thank you, Kim.
Good question.
Thanks, guys.
Coming up on Hoda and Jenna, it's another party on the Plaza after this.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Is that ready? Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
Swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Is that ready? Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
Welcome back. Today on Hoda and Jenna, we're bringing the beach to the Big Apple as we kick off our 3-day beach party on the Plaza. Check it out. We are kicking off a 3-day beach party on the Plaza right here in the heart of Midtown Manhattan. Our house band is the Caribbean Vibe Steel Drum Band. And let's say hello to Dwayne, Kareem, and Jelani. Hey guys, they are talented. We are just hanging with our crowd. And you know what? We want to say hello to Anode. Anode is our Today Show mascot. He's getting that rest and relaxation now that the Olympics have ended. And you know what? Hoda is also getting some rest. She's taking a well-deserved time off to be with her family. And in her seat is comedian Michelle Buteau, who is hanging with me today.
Hey, it's a beach party!
We're throwing it for you.
Hi, everyone. This is so exciting.
Isn't this awesome? We are so happy you're here.
I am so happy to be here. Happy birthday, Hoda.
Yes,
oh my
happy
God,
birthday,
Leo
Hoda.
energy up in here. I love it so much.
Wait, by the way, it is Hoda's birthday, and only Hoda wakes up at 4:30 or 5 on her birthday. I was texting her this morning, and she was writing back at the crack of dawn, but she's doing everything she wants. She's surrounded by her family, by her girls.
I love that.
And so she deserves a
I was also up early in the morning, but not for fun.
Okay, you have to tell me.
It has been, I'm so glad I made it here in a dress that's still holding it together because my twins, I have 2.5-year-old twins, up every hour getting out of their crib. We have a puppy. I went to go get little boy in the evening, stepped in the puppy's mess.
No.
Yes, sorry.
No.
Yes, sorry, everybody. Yes.
Wait, first of all, being a mother of 2.5-year-old twins, I have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
How do you, and I was a twin and probably a terrible one at that. Yes. How do you do it?
I don't know. It's a very cute sleepwalking. It's a very cute sleep, but I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, we love Michelle. She does a bit of everything in show business. She's been in rom-coms like the hit movie Always Be My Baby, one of my faves.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, she also hosts the reality competition show The Circle, which just came out with season 2.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, I mean, The Circle is a really fun show on Netflix. It's a reality competition game. And to be honest, I can break the news now. We're coming out with season 3 next month, everybody.
Season 2 hasn't just came out and you're already coming with season 3?
Book, blessed, and busy, honey.
I mean, you really are.
Yeah.
Okay, plus, of course, you have the Netflix comedy special, Welcome to Buteau. It's streaming now. And you got a Critics' Choice Award for that one.
I know! First female to ever win the award.
Isn't that crazy?
I tied with Seinfeld. Well, Seinfeld tied with me. Hi, Jerry.
Okay, so you were up all night long.
All night long. And then I walked in it and I was like, oh no. And then my daughter came over and was like, what are you guys doing? And then she walked in it.
Oh no.
So then at 3:30 in the morning, the whole family's up just, cleaning the floor. It was truly something out of a movie nobody wants to watch.
Okay.
How was your evening?
Okay, my evening was okay, but I have to show you something. Oh. And I want your real reaction.
Okay.
Okay? I was getting my nails done with my children.
Yes.
And Mila, my 8-year-old, told me that the rage is to do colorful tips on like a French manicure.
Yes.
So, first reaction, these are my nails.
Okay. You know, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
It's a choice, and it's not permanent.
Now, is it the brown? The brown that kind of.
This is the theme this morning. Yes.
Yes,
it is the brown.
I mean, I want to show y'all this because whoa. Yo, we're getting some stormy weather up here in the plaza. Okay, I did a brown tip, and my husband goes, "It looks like you have dirt under your fingernails." And
whoa! It's getting wild.
And then my daughter was like, "It looks like you used the restroom without toilet paper."
Well, you know what?
Is that what it looks like?
Kind of, but we're new friends, so I don't want to lie to you.
No, I'm
you know
glad that
I mean?
you're being transparent and honest.
Have to be.
Okay, should we play a little game?
I love games.
Since you have such a unique story and career, we wanted to play a little game called Getting Buteau You.
Yes, honey, you better sing
Did you like it?
I'm turning my chair around in the voice as we speak in my mind. Yes.
Not really. Okay, we're going to go through some fun facts. And you just tell us true or false or more about it.
Okay.
First up, you used to be an overnight editor at the local NBC station here in New York.
That is 100% true. I used to, oh my God, look at that picture. I used to edit the local news. This is how long ago it was. It was a whole other century. And I used to work the overnight shift. So I would do 3 or 4 shows at night and then go in midnight, 1 a.m.
Did you want to be in the news business?
You know what? I wanted to be a reporter. I wanted to be an entertainment reporter because I just love Mary Hart and like a statement limp and shoulder pads and just like recapping a story.
Look at you now!
Look at me now! But the thing is that I had a college professor tell me I was too fat to be on camera. So I was like, I'll just go into production.
Wait,
then.
what?
That's crazy. It's crazy. Again, another life. And so I'm glad I took this journey, the long road here, the slow simmer. So that's why I always tell my friends and anyone else interested in dreaming to do something, just take your time because you never know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. Ow, look at your girl in the beach dress. Look at the sand. It's real.
These chairs. No, and you know what? I mean, that professor watching right now.
Oh, he can double tap on my Instagram post, honey.
Yeah, double tap him.
Yes.
Okay, your mom is from Jamaica, your dad is from Haiti, and your husband is from Holland.
Yes.
And you're from New Jersey?
Yes, its own country, New Jersey. Whoop, whoop, how you doing? Yes, that is all of us. I have to say, the Thanksgiving dinner is real fun. I need subtitles for everybody. There's a lot of different accents happening, but yeah.
How'd you meet your husband?
Really? I don't think I can say it.
Yes,
so
you can.
In the morning.
Go, please tell us.
Let's just say I opened up my mind and my heart to love. Let's just say that. Let's just say I said yes to the dress before we really got to know each other. Let's just say.
How was the first date?
The first date was magical.
Was it?
Yes.
And you knew right away?
Yes. It's annoying, I knew. In fact, like 3 months in, I made him tell me he loved me. Because I was like, we were long distance, New York to Amsterdam.
Whoa.
Because he was from Holland. And I'm like, look, I can't keep traveling and using up all my miles for someone who doesn't love me. And I was like, do you love me? He's like, I have feelings of love towards you. I said, that's not good enough. You said you're going to make me say it? I said, say it. You got to just tell him what to do sometimes, guys.
You know, I've said this on the show before, but at 3 months, my husband told me he loved me.
See?
And I said, and my sister was like dancing with us. And I said, let's get married. And he was like dancing back away from me, like towards the bar. He was like, no, no, no. Okay, you have 2-year-old twins. We already talked about this. Hazel and Otis.
Yes.
And you're a helicopter mom?
I am a helicopter mom.
No, you are not.
I am. Look, I don't have time to go to the emergency room, okay? Like, we need to figure it out. If you cannot figure out how to climb down the tree, don't climb up it. So I'm all over them. And my husband is like a Jimmy Buffett concert. He would love this right now. He is so chill in his Tommy Bahama shirts. He's like, you know, let him figure it out. I'm like, no, 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 no.
So you're up there like, get down.
Yes.
And are you also a tiger mom? Like, do you want them to be
accomplished? No, I know I'm actually wearing tigers on my dress, but no, that's false advertising.
Are those tigers or cheetahs?
Let's say they're tigers, cheetahs, pineapples, whatever. It's a beach theme. I took
you
the
went
note.
for it. Okay, also, you share the same birthday as J-Lo, July 24th, and you're co-starring
Yes.
With her and her new movie?
Her new movie, Marry Me, that comes out next year. And just being with J-Lo on set is so hard not to stare at her because she's so beautiful. And she's also is watching like a Puerto Rican masterclass walk into the room. Like, it's amazing. Good knees, edges.
Do you find yourself just like...
Yes.
And then what do you do to get out of that?
I count backwards from 100. It helps. It's soothing.
Okay, you also have a book of essays called Survival of the Thickest.
Yes!
And you were a little bit freaked out when your mom got a copy?
I did. Survival of the Thickest. I love this book so much. Plus-size essays in a small-minded world. But there is a chapter called Game of Hoes. And so I was like, Mom, skip this one. Just skip it.
Game of Hoes?
Game of Hoes. Can I
you
say that?
Well, you just did, and I say sure. Meredith went like this, so if she went like this, that's a yes.
Sorry, everyone.
So, y'all, there's this new thing in Hollywood. Have you heard about this? Since you wanted to be an entertainment reporter, this is good for you. Apparently, there's a new wellness trend that's about bathing and showering less.
Yes, I've heard that.
Right? Jake Gyllenhaal just said that he
sure did.
Bathes less.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, he said that he told Vanity Fair for some reason that I find bathing to be less necessary at times.
Look, Jake, I don't want to, it's your journey, and now I know when I hug you, but I'm just like, we have really clean water. Why don't we use it?
I know. Well, Mila Kunis and her husband Ashton Kutcher, they also revealed that they don't wash their full bodies with soap every day. They just watch
the hot spots.
Yeah, the hot spots.
Got it. The important.
Y'all, do y'all wash every day?
The hot spots, yeah.
Y'all raise your hand if you wash every day. Okay, who's gonna be honest? Oh, look, there's even people over there raising their hands.
Oh, good.
Okay, raise your hand if you don't. Be honest. Oh, there's one. Okay, I love you. Okay.
Do you wash every day?
I wash every day. I don't wash my hair every day. What about you?
No, we wash our hair. When I say we, black women, we wash our hair once a week, and it's a whole day. We call it a wash day. Do you know what I mean? We have a book, a magazine, the whole nine, honey. But, thank you, sir. But he can confirm. But yeah, I don't understand. You need to clean yourself.
Yeah. Although the babes, do you wash them every day?
You know what? I do.
You're a helicopter mom.
Yeah, but I have nice soap, warm water.
Yeah.
I like to.
You
wash.
keep it fresh.
Look, as a daisy.
Okay. Steel drum band, how much fun are they?
Yes.
It is time for Unscripted. Michelle, you really got into that game. You really went there.
You got to.
Okay, did you have fun playing Charading Places?
So much fun. It's like the most activity I've done all year.
Okay, you host a reality show.
Yes.
The Circle, which people love.
Yes.
Okay, Netflix just announced the world's largest ever reality casting call.
Yes.
Fans age 18 and over can submit a 1-minute video of themselves and then can be in any of the Netflix reality shows.
That's right. If you are a fan of any Netflix reality show, whether it's Nailed It or Marie Kondo's show, whatever it is.
Floor is Lava.
Look.
I love the Floor is Lava.
Do you? Would you submit yourself for that show?
No, because they get injured. But what about you? What's your reality show of choice?
Oh my goodness, I guess it would be Nailed It because I'm pretty good at baking, but I'm not British Bake Off ready.
Yeah.
So I feel like I blow the competition out the water, and I do appreciate that.
My kids love Nailed It.
Really?
Yeah, we watch it as a family.
I love Nicole Byer. People think we're the same person all the time.
Oh, wow. Today Talks continues after the break. We have an exclusive chat you can only see here on Today All Day.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Todd Cast, free wherever you get your podcasts. Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Todd Cast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Today Talks and our exclusive content you can only see here on Today All Day. We done. You made it through a show.
Yes.
And I was telling you when we were talking to the audience, I was like, by the way, this isn't always like this. Like, we're out here on the Plaza.
Yeah. It's so fun. It's so fun because it just feels like you're at like a wedding and you're doing a live show within a wedding across the country. So you're like, hello, let's go. We're gonna meet the band.
Was it fun or was it like, you were great.
You are great.
But did you ever think about doing something like this? You should.
No. I mean, like, look, I love connecting with people and having fun, right? And that's always great. But, you know, I also love stand-up comedy because I get to be, you know, I get to say dirty stuff.
You get to be a little raunchy.
A little raunchy, yes.
But, so as a little girl, what did you dream of? Like, what did you hope to be? You wanted to be a journalist?
You know, when I was in college, I really wanted to be an entertainment reporter.
Yeah.
So I was obsessed with, like, recapping a story of who
Yes.
did what.
I wonder if we're around the same age, where it was like Britney and Paris and all, like Hilton and all those girls. I'm turning 40.
Okay, yeah, I mean,
Are
good
you
for
younger?
Yes, you are serving it.
I'm
saw you
turning
do
40.
those apps. Yeah, I love that. I'm 44, so, but I was also an only child and an old soul, so I was like, what's Liberace up to? I was that kid, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was a lot of entertainment tonight with my mom and Mary Hart.
I love that.
Yeah. What did you want to be?
I wanted to be like a Broadway star. And what I wanted to be, it was never going to happen though. My mom still drove me to like the Dallas Convention Center where I would try out for Les Miserables, and every year they'd be like, no.
But you have a castle on a cloud. Let's go.
That's what I would sing it with like a little broom, and they'd be like, wow, you're a very tan, well-fed Texan. Like, doesn't really work with the French Revolution. You know what I mean?
Oh, come on, Louisiana's right there. I know, right?
No.
So you sing?
No, I don't. That's the issue. I don't sing and I really can't act, but I liked performing. You probably did too, did you?
I did, but I never thought it could be possible. I just love that stand-up is something that I felt like I was in control of. I still do, and everything else is like amazing. Like,
so what's your favorite part about stand-up? Have you been able to get on the stage at all since the pandemic?
I did do a little run. In Brooklyn at my favorite place called the Bell House, and the show was called Bitch Got a Babysitter. And wow, the look on my husband's face when he found out he was the babysitter, LOL. And it was just fun after a year and a half to get back to jokes.
Yeah, and to make people laugh, right?
Yes, and see people's faces.
I have to tell you, my middle daughter, sometimes forget about my third, don't tell her, but my middle daughter, Poppy, is so funny. And last night she goes, and my older daughter's kind of philosophical. She goes, I wouldn't want to be famous young. And my husband was like, why? And she's like, I just think you want to have things to look forward to in life.
Whoa.
And I was like, whoa. And then Poppy goes, yeah, I don't want to be famous. I just like to make people laugh. And I was like, that type of feeling of being that kid that likes to make people laugh, because it's just like delightful, and particularly in the year we've had.
That's good. Absolutely. And I love that kids are so honest.
Yeah.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I love that so much.
Are your kids funny, unintentionally or intentionally?
You know, I always say that Hazel makes having twins interesting, and Otis makes having twins easy.
So your boy is easier?
Boy is easier. Old man Otis will go to sleep, but also like typical toddler, only beige fried things. Hazelnut, she likes to eat a tomato as an apple, and she likes to like look at people in their face, and they're like, she can see through my soul. I'm like, we'll do better. So she is.
She might like Liberace too. She may be your mommy's daughter.
Look, she's spirited. She got it. She got the 1-2 step. So we'll see what happens.
Michelle, thank you for hanging out with me. This has been such a dream. So much fun. Will you come back?
I don't know.
I know. She may not. She may not after we put her through those 5-minute workouts. I don't blame her. All right, that's it for this episode of Today Talks. Keep watching for more Today All Day.
You are currently in Budapest. As I understand, you're shooting a film with Cate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis. What's it been like working with those two?
It's been amazing, man. You know, we got an amazing cast. We're shooting Borderlands, which is an IP that has an amazing following of millions on millions. Director Eli Roth, Lionsgate's the studio behind it. You know, Cate Blanchett, Jamie Lee Curtis, myself, Jack Black. I mean, God, we got so many more. It's truly one of these situations where you stumble into an opportunity that could progress into being super, super big. You know, this is something that could easily go into part 2, 3, and beyond because of the world that we're playing in and the creativity within the space. So it's dope. It's something that's, once again, going to throw my audience for a curveball. I'm excited. Action on action. I'm responsible for the action in the movie.
What's the premise?
It's a game. You know, it's based off of a video game. So it's about the travel within planets and a search to find an individual that possesses the powers of being the quote unquote special one, you know? And in finding this particular individual, you can use their powers that they have to open up what's considered to be this magical thing called the vault, which so many people have been trying to get into for years. But to do it, you know, you have to have the keys to go and get it done. And it's about searching for those keys, searching for the individual. And that's the story in a nutshell. But a band of misfits are kind of put together by accident. And when they're put together, they don't want to leave each other's side and end up fighting against the quote unquote bad people that live in between these planets. So it's like sci-fi, but it's really good. It's grounded within that space as well. Think Fifth Element. Think along those lines. Yeah.
You continue to stretch your legs. I mean, let's talk fatherhood for a moment. Here's a film where I think a lot of folks are going to watch this, and they're going to say, oh, that's not the Kevin Hart I know. Like, we're used to Kevin Hart making us laugh, and not to give away too much, this is Kevin Hart in a completely different light. How hard was it to make the turn?
You know, it wasn't hard at all. I think there's no mystery from me to myself about what I'm capable of doing, especially in the space of acting. I know that I have range. I know that you know, I got a lot of diversity. So it's all about the projects. You know, when the right projects come along, if it's time for you to make those transitions, then of course you take it and you do it. The upside was when I felt was the right time for me to step into the direction of dramedy, and I had great company in doing so. And after that, it was like, okay, that was good. I need to find something on this level or better. And the next project that was brought up was Fatherhood. Marty Bowen had a script, brought it to me and my company at Heartbeat. And, you know, we were blown away from day one at Matt Logan's story. And when I found out that it was true, that's when it was like, okay, this could be it, because you're not only doing a project that's good on paper, you're doing a project that you would have to be good at and stay true to because it's real. That was enough for me. You know, when I got his reason, Matt was like, this is an opportunity to not only share my story, but bring light to a thing that happens that people don't really know happens often. And, you know, his journey from pain to happiness is one like no other. So my respect level went through the roof, and my appetite for a meaningful piece of material went through the roof as well. So everything lined up, man. Paul White's great director, met with him. And then the Obamas came in as producing partners as well. I mean, all of the boxes were checked that said go.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends of today in a whole new way.
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show in a mere 30 minutes.
Yes.
Shop today with Joe Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
In a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Joe Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Your buddy B.O., as you call him.
Yo, B.O.
What was it like working with B.O. on a project like this? Would he call and give some tips, some feedback? Would he say, hey, Kev, I think maybe we should do this and not this?
You know, the thing about having good producing partners is producing partners knowing their roles and, you know, where their value is, right? And the value and promise in having the Obamas and their company as producing partners is them understanding a good IP, a good piece of content with strong substance and great meaning that could do nothing but spread a positive, needed message in today's time and in our culture, right? You know, you're talking about a black man on the big screen playing the role of a father in a positive light. I don't think I need to say it, but it's not something you see often, right? You don't see it in a positive light often. We're crackheads, we're in jail, out of jail, we're missing, we're a discovery at the tail end of a life. It's never truly a story that's like from beginning to end, one that you follow and one that's uplifting. So in this case, I felt that there was a need and real want behind the message that was being delivered. And, you know, without putting a stamp on the race card, it's visual of this being an opportunity to change the narrative that I feel desperately needs to be changed. So the Obamas got that. And he said, this is a great opportunity to uplift Black fathers and Black men and, you know, give a nod to those that are embracing fatherhood and maybe a little nudge to those that aren't correctly, you know? So we were lucky to have him to be a part of it. Once again, everything kind of lined up and all the right boxes were checked.
Amen to that, Kevin Hart. Amen to that. How did you figure out how to cry on cue for the film?
I mean, you're pulling on emotional strings. You know, it's a heavy story. It's a heavy story. When I first read the script, honestly, I teared up in the first 30 pages. You know, when what happens, it got to me because it's like, damn, you know, this is the happiest day of you and your wife's life. And, you know, 9 months have been spent looking forward to this particular day. And on this day, to have something tarnish that or be taken, that's tough. That's tough to process. That's tough to register. And those that have had that happen to them, my prayers and condolences go out to them because I couldn't imagine. I really couldn't imagine. So it was putting myself as deep into that as I possibly could to help me get the emotional response that I did. And, you know, it also helps when you have an amazing cast around you. You know, I mean, I'm with Alfre Woodard, and I mean, you're talking about the cream of the crop, the best of the best. So, you know, those emotions come out more when you see other people putting those emotions on display at the thought of. So your game is raised by your surroundings.
And you obviously are a father of 4 yourself. How did you draw on your own experiences with fatherhood for the role?
That was my cheat sheet. A lot of the stuff that I was doing, I had already experienced, right? So it wasn't like I was playing in a heavy false pretense for some of the stuff. Like I have 4 kids and I'm on all different ages across the board. So, being able to be hands-on, being able to be a part, I know where the nervousness comes from. I know where the confidence comes from. I know where the fear comes from. I've been there, I've truly lived in it. I had to find comfort and discomfort at one point in being a father. And I think so many other fathers do as well. It's just about acknowledging that, understanding that, and being true to that. And I was able to do that. I was able to take that ammunition that I had and apply it to this particular movie. And it worked. I think it really worked in my favor, and it shows on the big screen.
What's been the hardest part of being a dad? What do you struggle with the most?
Hardest part of being a dad is the feeling of, am I doing a good enough job? Well, it's not a struggle. I think that's the wrong word. It's a thought that's always in the back of your head. Okay. Because as your kids get older, the real world is magnified, right? And you can protect all you want. You can pamper or do your best to do and take care of, but ultimately, that kid has to go out into the real world and experience life on their own. So with that thought in the back of your head, it's one of, did I do a good enough job to prepare? Are they ready? Are they capable? Are they going to get eaten alive and spit back out into reality? It's like these are the things that you just, you have tug of war with, right? So, my daughter's 16, my son's 13, about to be 14. My youngest son is 3, my daughter's 8 months. So, once again, I'm very much spread out, but still, I got a 16-year-old, right? 18 is right around the corner. Am I doing a good job as a father? Am I present? Am I honest? Am I open? We're close. Are we close? Like, it's something. And I think that's what keeps you, it keeps you on your toes. It keeps you on your feet, and it keeps you in a position to always push and want for more. And that's within a relationship.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Some experts say that this bill still isn't enough. Do you accept that criticism? There's been a ton of confusion from the CDC. Can we try to clear some of this up? What are the issues that the party stands for? That seems to be the missing piece here. If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
You've been in the game a long time as a dad, as you pointed out there. You had a child during a pandemic. How was that?
Low PD, low pandemic, baby. Look, it's amazing. You know, I mean, being privileged to bring a child into this world, that's a blessing within itself. You know, it's unfortunate that the times were what they were, but a blessing is a blessing, and I'm not going to take it as anything other than that. My little princess, you know, we got a new boss of the household, and I love that there's always a changing of the guard. Everybody's had an opportunity to wear that hat, that boss hat, and right now Ori has it. Got me wrapped around a little finger. Starting all over, you know. Once you thought you were closing, they were getting out the house, and then I went in and put 2 more in there, and I'm right back at the starting line. So it is what it is, man. I love it. I enjoy it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
How have you changed as a dad? I mean, when you started, you were much younger.
Yeah. 41, about to be 42. You grow.
Yeah.
I mean that's the great thing about life, right? You grow as you go. So I'm very much happy into the man that I've become. The man who I was, I'm very much happy that I was that man, that I did the things that I did and got to experience a lot of the things that I experienced, because without those moments and without those things, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in the position I am now to be poised, polished, you know, mature, just a true adult. And I'm not done adulting. I'm not done growing. You know, you don't get there. The wise are the old, and I truly believe that. You know, there's nothing more refreshing than a conversation with somebody of older age, because there's so much information that comes from that person because of how much they've lived. And what you find is that the information is key to the next wave's success. But sometimes this next wave is a little too stubborn, too cocky, too bullheaded to receive it. At the older age that I am now, I've been in the position to receive a lot of those gems, and I think it truly is the beauty of life to watch time go, but to watch people grow. It's dope as hell to me.
You're a father of 4. It would seem to me, at least, not a stretch to be a father of 5, maybe 6. Have you given thought to doing it again?
Oof. It's been a discussion, you know. I just told you this my baby Ori, you know, Ori's a blessing. I don't turn down a blessing. Now, am I planning for a number 5? No, I'm not. If a number 5 were to happen, then oh joy. Okay. Oh joy. But right now, I think 4 is a good number. We're in a good place, man. Got some dogs, got some kids. We're fine. 5, you know, we don't need to push for 5. Not right now. I think we're in a good space.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll see. But I don't run anything. I don't know why I'm talking like I can make these decisions. If my wife decides she wants another baby, I gotta have a baby. Yeah, there is no pushback for me, man. None.
There was the accident a while back, and you suffered a pretty serious back injury. I caught some video online recently. You seem to be back 100%. Saw some video of Kevin Hart in the gym, and it looks like you're training for something.
Yeah, I'm definitely 100% back to myself. Currently in the best shape that I've ever been in. I mean, I got in crazy shape for Borderlands because, once again, rolling is the action. I'm all stunts. I'm all my own. You know,
you're doing it all yourself.
I'm doing a lot of that stuff myself. I got a great team. 2 great stunt guys, man. Two great stunt guys that have been with me for quite some time. And you know what we do is we put me in positions to do as much of it as I possibly can. You know, when it gets to be something crazy, my guys step in. But I love to be extremely hands-on and get in there. And I did a lot of training for this movie, so I got down to about, I'll say maybe 10.5%, 11% body fat.
Wow.
And, you know, all muscle, but I've never looked like this. I've never been in this shape ever in my life. This is definitely the best shape that I've gotten in at the age 41 and about to be 42. And I worked hard for it. So I love the results when you put in the effort.
What's left, Kevin Hart? What have you not done yet that you still want to do?
There's so many things in the entertainment space that I've been able to tap into. And what I found is that the more diverse you are, the more you can do, and the more you can elevate and create opportunities for those around you. That's what my newfound focus is. That's where my ambitions have rolled over to. So, you know, it's about finding the success and then creating bridges to get other people up here and over here.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day. Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like, really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
How you been? What's going on?
Drinking milk, getting tall.
So you in Budapest? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Big
Live from the pest.
I think that's not what their tourism bureau calls it. Kevin Hart has built a career by making audiences laugh. Now the superstar comedian is proving he also can move them to tears.
Wherever you are, I want to go there.
Wherever you are, I want to go there too.
In the Netflix drama Fatherhood, Hart plays a single dad raising a daughter after the sudden death of his wife.
I'm going to do it because I'm a father.
I was ready for the Kevin Hart experience. Within, I think, 10 minutes, I was getting choked up.
This was an opportunity for me to expand my resume. People are going to be shocked when they see it and go, wow, you know, Kevin's got some dramatic chops. 2 kisses. One for mommy. One for me. Well, I love the opportunity of being a black father on screen in a positive light. Most of the times they're on drugs, off drugs, in jail, out of jail. To have some type of positivity behind it and maybe be a part of kind of changing the stereotype.
Hart delivers that message with the help of another famous dad named Barack Obama. Fatherhood is co-produced by Higher Ground, the production company started by the former president and First Lady.
Is Barack Obama calling you with notes?
You know what? I actually did talk to Barack. You know, first of all, I think it's just crazy that I can say I talked to Barack on the phone comfortably.
And the fact that you can just drop and call him Barack, that's a statement right there of where you are.
Yeah, B.O. Call him B.O. Hey, B.O., what's up, man?
I'm sure he loves that.
Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, how you doing? You tell me, B.O. I'm good. That's how it went down. The reason why they wanted to take on the project was because of the story and having them see and understand the positive message behind it. I mean, that's as good as it gets for me.
Hart specializes in positivity. His new book for middle schoolers, called Marcus Makes a Movie, is about a boy pushing through obstacles to chase a dream.
And I wanted to help motivate and inspire our youth to simply understand that the word no is just a word. Coming up as a kid, as a young adult, early in my career, I heard the word no a lot.
What's your message to the kids who might read that book, who are hearing no at school, they're hearing no in sports or in their music career, or they think they're funny and they don't know how to get where Kevin Hart is?
I will say, you know, I think it's not about getting where I am. It's about getting where you want to be, right? And all I am is an example of what's reachable, what's obtainable. And what I learned is that talent is amazing to have, but hard work is going to possibly beat talent every day of the week. Hard work plus talent is undefeated.
In a year when the rest of the world slowed down, Hart's relentless hustle continued. He performed a hit 2020 Netflix stand-up special from his own living room, with his family getting ready for bed upstairs.
I'm no longer comfortable anywhere else but my house. I don't like people anymore.
What was that like? How do you put together an act differently than being in Madison Square Garden, for example, standing in your living room?
Well, you know, we wanted to do something very intimate.
Let's address the elephant in the room. COVID. Newsflash, I had it. The vid-19 was in my system.
It wasn't necessarily about the performance. It was just about me being honest about my life, the pandemic.
When it first hit, I went and put gas in all the cars. I bought every N95 I saw. I spent 20 grand on N95s.
There's just a comfort that comes with being honest and aware. And that was about me having the realization that I'm good.
Does that come with experience and success too, where you now frankly can say, I don't need to go do that project because I'm good with who I am and where I am?
It comes with experience, success, and also a true understanding of what happy is. There's a thing where this is going to make me happy, and if I get this, I'll be the happiest person ever. And then you get it. And then you go, oh, but if I get this is going to make me happy. This is all I need. But when you really realize it's about the people, family, the love, the connection, well, then things kind of change.
Everything nearly changed one night in September of 2019, when Hart was a passenger in a single-car crash that left him with serious injuries. How much of this perspective that I'm hearing right now, Kevin, comes from the experience of surviving the car accident that you were in and being able to come home and see your wife and see your kids and appreciate everything?
I mean, tons. Understanding that you're not in control, that's a big deal. At any point in time, it can be over. Snap of fingers, over. I'm fortunate and lucky to still experience life.
I don't think most people appreciated how serious your injuries were.
Yeah.
You broke your back.
Almost paralyzed.
Almost paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you recovered today?
100% recovered. I was very lucky to still be able to walk. You know, you're talking about a couple centimeters. That's what separated me and being paralyzed.
1 year after the crash and right in the middle of a pandemic, Hart welcomed a new member of the family, his second child with wife Aniko Parrish. Hart relishing his real-life fatherhood.
How's your baby girl?
Oh, man, my baby girl is amazing. Kayori, my heart. So in love, as I am all my kids, of course. But, you know, we got a new boss in the household, so it's an exciting time. It's me sitting down and getting to really tap in with my loved ones, with my wife and my kids. It was a really good thing for me.
Oh, today all day, summer's officially here, so get outside, do something fun. Up next, Sama Dada is sharing the ultimate menu for a perfect picnic party in the park.
This is sort of like playing with Play-Doh, but it tastes good and it's edible. Play-Doh is not edible, I don't think. Play-Doh is edible? No. Why? There's no way. I just learned that Play-Doh is edible. Don't eat it though. That's disgusting. Just eat these instead. In the summer months especially, it's really nice to get outside and take advantage of your local parks. And listen, I am your dream picnic guest because I never come without the most important thing, food. So I'm gonna show you how to make 2 of my favorite recipes for your next #picnic party, my easy homemade turmeric hummus, and my favorite spiced chickpea burgers with a delicious red pepper sauce. Some may say it's sacrilegious to make hummus with canned chickpeas, but you know what? Convenience is a gorgeous thing, and you can still get a really delicious result with the canned chickpeas that have been sort of hibernating at the back of your pantry for quite some time. If you're freaked out at all by making hummus at home, just don't be, because you know what? All you need to make it is a blender. So let's start. Starting with my canned chickpeas, adding these straight to the blender. They're so cute. I'm gonna go ahead and add my tahini. You cannot have hummus without tahini. It is like peanut butter and jelly, you know what I mean? So don't forget it. You just simply can't have hummus without it. It makes it nice and earthy and creamy and flavorful. Okay? You've got those really savory flavors from that tahini, from the chickpeas, so now we need a little bit of tartness, and that's where our lemon juice comes in. Just gonna roll the lemon to release some of that juice. Lemon juice going straight in my blender. It's gonna make this hummus really bright and zingy. I will warn you, once you learn how to make this hummus at home, you may never go back to store-bought. I'm sorry, but I'm just not sorry. Perfect. Lemon is done. Now I'm gonna add in my garlic. I like using raw garlic here because it has a really punchy, flavorful taste, and we want all of that flavor in this hummus. Here's where we really spice it up, okay? We're gonna add my 3 favorite spices. I'm adding some cumin. Adding some paprika for a little hint of smoke and spice. And what would this turmeric hummus be without turmeric? It doesn't make sense. So I'm adding my turmeric in. Another reason I wanted to make a turmeric hummus is because of that gorgeous yellow color. So that's really gonna give that hummus that bright pop. It's gonna look really good on your table, I promise. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and some freshly ground black pepper. Now I'm just gonna blend. In order to get this hummus super smooth, we're gonna add a little bit of water, tablespoon by tablespoon, until it reaches our desired consistency. For me, that's very smooth and velvety and luxurious. Starting with just a bit. The trick with this hummus to get it super velvety smooth is when you reach your desired consistency, blend it for an extra 3 or 4 more times. That's gonna make it even more smooth. Like, look at that. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Let me just adjust to taste. See if it needs anything. mean, come on. It's perfect. I'm gonna add the hummus into my bowl. Have you ever seen anything this smooth in your life? No, right? Okay. Now, let me show you how to adorn this hummus. I'm gonna smooth it out. I created a little swoosh so that the olive oil and spices have a little home. Drizzle some olive oil on top. Sprinkling with a little bit of za'atar. If you don't know what za'atar is, it's a Middle Eastern spice blend with sumac, sesame seeds, and another host of spices. It's so good. If you don't have za'atar, don't worry, you can totally omit it, but I think it tastes amazing with it. I'm gonna add a touch of paprika just for a little color. This works as a nice contrast to that bright yellow that the turmeric gives this hummus. I mean, look at how pretty that is, right? But we're not done yet. I have this gorgeous platter of fresh vegetables here, and I'm just gonna cut them and adorn them around my hummus. If you don't feel like slicing your veggies yourself, no worries. You can buy it pre-cut. I've got some time on my hands. I mean, this is art. Monet? Is that you? It's me. I think I made a masterpiece. I'm not trying to be conceited, but like, are we all looking at the same thing here? Doesn't this make you want to be one of my picnic guests? Maybe? So pretty. Need to take a picture. My phone really does eat first. I know that's cliche, but it's kind of true. Oh my God, I was immediately taken aback by how pretty this looked. I cracked myself up. I'm taking like 20,000 pictures. I think 12 would have been fine, but okay. I think I got the shot. Can confidently say I got the shot. I'm gearing up. Okay. This is the most both exciting and tragic part of making hummus, is that part where you ruin the art. But it's okay. This is what it's for. Okay, I'm going in. Did that make you all feel things? Because I just felt really emotional. Okay, ready to taste. It's so good. Something so flavorful paired with a simple, crisp vegetable, just like, these vegetables just gotta glow up. Thanks to this hummus, it's art. It's art. No picnic would be complete without a sandwich, so I'm gonna show you how to make my favorite chickpea burger with a red pepper sauce. I'm gonna go grab the ingredients.
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Savannah and Hoda bring you what you must know. The biggest moments of the morning.
One Republic!
Exclusive interviews.
Why did it work for you?
You're right. I am more talented than the rest.
And important headlines.
Major medical news this morning.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day. Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule. Streaming every day on Today All Day.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready?
We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement. Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
To turn your favorite hummus into my red pepper special sauce, first cut 2 peppers in half and de-seed them. Then roast the red peppers at 450 degrees for about 25 minutes. After removing the peppers from the oven, they'll need to be steamed for 10 to 15 minutes. You can do this by inverting a glass bowl over the peppers onto a cutting board. Sealing the peppers creates steam, making it easier for the skins to peel right off. Remove the pepper peels and discard. Yep, they're a little slippery. Roughly chop the red peppers into large pieces. Add 2 cups of your favorite hummus to a high-speed blender. Homemade or store-bought will do just fine. Now, drop in your roasted red peppers. Blend the mixture until it's well combined and super smooth. Now, this special sauce is ready to be spread on anything your heart desires.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there. Make the most of your day with
Today in 30.
We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day. For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright.
Are you ready?
We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes.
This is the face of excitement. Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Having a good veggie burger recipe in your back pocket is sort of like having your best friend on speed dial. It's pretty useful. And I don't know if people are really using speed dial anymore, but you get the point. My chickpea burgers are deliciously spiced, they're super hearty, and they're perfect for when you want something substantial that still happens to be plant-based. First things first, I want this burger to have a lot of complex layers of flavor, so I'm gonna saute some onion and garlic to put in it. Just gonna dice my red onion. I'm only using half here. I'm using a red onion here because I really like that it adds that nice sweetness. It's gonna be so good in this veggie burger. Also, aesthetically speaking, I know it's what's on the inside that counts, but aesthetically speaking, these red onions are really pretty. That purpley red, we love it. Red onions are diced. I'm now gonna mince my garlic. Great way to mince garlic. All you're gonna do is take your clove, use the flat edge of your knife, get some of your aggression out, and then start mincing. I'm gonna do this with all of the rest of my cloves. Garlic, it's our friend, okay? You may smell like garlic for 3 days after cooking with it, but it's worth it. It's worth the price you have to pay. We wanna extract all of that garlicky flavor. It's so good. And we're mincing it really finely so that we can get out all of that flavor, all of that aroma, all of that garlic perfume that will plague you for the next 3 days. All right. Now I'm gonna heat my pan and add some olive oil. My oil is shimmering, and now I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions. Got some resistant ones in here. Don't worry, you're gonna become a burger. Something to celebrate. All right. We want these onions to be tender, translucent, starting to brown around the edges. When we get a little bit of that caramelization, it's gonna impart so much flavor onto these burgers. And you might be wondering, why didn't we add the garlic with the onions? But we can't do that because the garlic takes a lot less time to cook, so if we added with the onions, it would burn, and that's not cute. My onions look perfect. They're nice and golden brown around the edges. They're tender, translucent, which means it's time for the garlic. Okay. Doesn't need too much time to become a little brown, about 2 minutes. Don't forget, and I'm reminding you here, to season with salt and pepper. Flavor is our friend. We always want more of it. Okay, this looks amazing. The garlic is nice and golden. It's got some color. I'm gonna set this aside to cool and then get to work on the base of my burger. For the base of this burger, I'm starting with some cashews. I know that sounds crazy, but cashews are buttery and delicious. They really allow this veggie burger to be hearty and meaty without any actual meat. So I'm gonna add that into my food processor. I'm using raw cashews here, unsalted, completely raw. This is important. All I'm gonna do is process these cashews into a nice fine powder, kind of like a flour. Looks pretty good. All right, this looks perfect. Let me just show you the texture real quick. It's sort of like this nice flour, you can see. It's gonna be a really hearty base for this burger. Okay, cashews are done. Now we're gonna move on to the rest of my ingredients. Now I'm gonna add some flaxseed meal. This is gonna be really great as a binder for these burgers. It's sort of like a vegan replacement for an egg. Okay, looking cozy in there. And because I can't live my life without any spice, it just simply is not possible, I'm gonna add my spices. Starting with a little paprika. And just know, these spices aren't gonna make it spicy, right? It's gonna be flavorful, it's gonna add a lot of body and taste. That's what we like. A little bit of turmeric. Yum. Some cumin. And finally, some coriander. This is a chickpea burger, so we gotta add our chickpeas. These are just drained. And now we're gonna process. It's It's okay if this mixture isn't fully pulverized. It's kind of nice to have a little bit of that chickpea texture, so don't sweat it if you've got a little chickpea hanging out in there. Now I'm just gonna add some olive oil, and then remember my onions and garlic from earlier? These are going in there as well. A little olive oil. And then my onions and garlic. Perfect. Okay, you probably guessed this, but we're gonna process one more time. My mixture is looking amazing. Gonna transfer it to a bowl. Just transferred my patty mixture into my bowl, and you'll notice it's kind of thick and sticky, which is great because then we'll be able to form it into patties really nicely. Because I want this to have a little bit of zest, a little bit of something herby, I'm just gonna add some cilantro in here. You can totally use parsley if cilantro freaks you out. I won't judge you. I'm just gonna roughly tear them. I like those big pieces of herbs, but if you want it smaller, you can totally chop it. Okay. Mix that in. And now we're ready to form them into patties. A couple of things I want to do before I form these into patties. First, remove all my rings, because I wear like 12,000. And now I'm going to oil my hands just to make sure that nothing sticks to them. Just a little on here, just a little. Using extra virgin olive oil. I think you're moisturizing your hands, but you're really just prepping to make your burgers. Okay, here we go. It's very fun, very therapeutic, and look how well this sticks together. So I'm gonna form these into like a little ball at first, and then I'll flatten them out into patties. You can really make these as big or as small as you'd like. I'm going for like a major burger situation, but you can also make little small burgers as well if you want little bite-sized snacks, if you want to throw them on a salad. They're very versatile. See how virtually nothing is sticking to my hands? You can thank the extra virgin olive oil for that. You've got a lot of really hearty elements in this burger, the cashews, the chickpeas. It allows it to stick together, but also allows you to feel really satiated. It's really delicious and just a really great way to eat a veggie burger that's exciting. I'm gonna put these in the oven at 375 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure you flip them once halfway through baking. And if you don't wanna eat them now, don't worry, you can freeze them for another day. They're perfect for meal prep.
And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go. Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Today is now a podcast available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
It has been a long year.
Yeah, where it's been anything but normal.
Well, now there's hope. The COVID vaccines.
I know. It's been a little confusing.
Like really confusing.
So it's more important than ever to make a plan. Visit planyourvaccine.com
to find out where and when to get your vaccine.
What are you waiting for? Roll up your sleeves and plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine.
Plan your vaccine. The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast. Free wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
mean, is this a joke? Look at this. That crisp golden exterior. It looks so beautiful. If you did want it to be a little more crisp on the outside, feel free to sear them. But to me, this looks perfect. It's time to assemble my burger. I'm very excited. I've got my bun, got my tomatoes, my lettuce, and I have a little red pepper special sauce to go in the burger as well. So I'm gonna go for it. Got my bun. I like a lot of sauce, so I'm gonna go ahead and be generous here. This is gonna add more flavor, a little bite, and some nice color too. I'm gonna spread both sides of the burger, both buns, here as well. The red pepper sauce is like tangy, a little sweet. These are roasted red peppers. Okay. Now for my star. Go ahead and add one of my burgers. Straight onto my bun. It's like it was meant to be there. It's almost upsetting how perfect it looks on that burger bun. Okay. Gonna add a little fresh tomato. And some lettuce for some greens in my life. Okay, time for that other bun. I mean, come on, look at that. Doesn't that look good? Look at the colors. I gotta take a picture. Doesn't it look good? Okay. Oh my God, look at that. All of those layers of flavor. That looks really good. Okay, is it time? I'm nervous I'm not gonna eat this in a cute way at all, but I guess it really doesn't matter. Okay, here I go. I'm gonna go from this side. This seems more approachable to me. Okay, here we go. I mean, this chickpea burger is so well spiced, so well seasoned. I think I need another bite. It seems like I must take another bite. Okay. It's just simply not right. It's simply not right how good it is. That red pepper special sauce though, ties everything together. See, this is why I'm everyone's favorite picnic guest. I do stuff like this, and then they always invite me again. You can be that person too. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Okay, I'm going in. Someone has to stop me. Someone has to stop me. I'm gonna keep eating this. No one's gonna stop me? Okay. All right. Going to Central Park is one of my favorite things to do in New York. It's the perfect place for a picnic party. I invited my sister and my best friend for a little afternoon lunch. Hey! What's up? Come on. Okay guys, look at my crudité prata.
Yeah, I'm eyeballing it.
I cannot live my life without hummus, and I love bringing it to a picnic because it's easy to pack and snack on. We love a fresh veg.
And
yeah, hummus is so good. Don't you think?
Hummus is so good.
My chickpea burger is one of my favorite plant-based meals. It's hearty and comforting, plus it's great hot or room temp. Oh, I like that you're taking photos. That makes me happy. Are you contemplating? Okay, cheers. 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 Cheers.
It looks like Shake Shack, honestly.
It looks like Shake Shack. It's nice. Okay.
Doesn't it? This looks fake. It's like a Krabby Patty.
There's nothing I love more than sharing my food with the people that I love, and a picnic is a great place to do it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We are getting ready to go, baby.
Heading to Japan.
Tokyo, here we come.
Good morning from Tokyo. Today's home away from home.
This is our Today Show Olympic workspace. Our writers, our producers, our crews. And good morning, everybody. Welcome to today's Olympic headquarters overlooking the iconic Rainbow Bridge. We didn't pay the light bill, so they haven't turned the lights on yet. The Olympic rings aren't lit up yet, but guess what? I'm lit up. We're halfway through the first week of the Olympic Games, so we thought we'd give you, hey, look at that! Just like that! Bam! Oh, the power. We're going to give you an inside look behind the scenes from how we get our show on the air each day to how the athletes prepare for the biggest competition of their lives. We're going to introduce you to the teams working around the globe and around the clock, bringing you more than 7,000 hours of Olympic coverage all across NBC platforms, making the Tokyo Olympics the biggest media event of all time. This year, we all had one goal in mind, staying safe. Take a look at how we got here and how we're working to bring you the Olympics during this unprecedented time. Woo-hoo! Tokyo, here we come. Taking off for Tokyo, an event much anticipated by athletes, the audience, and even Today Show anchors.
Okay, heading to Japan. I'm dressed like the athletes. I'm going to be wearing all red, white, and blue.
It's not easy getting somewhere in the time of COVID. We've got all those safety precautions, and this is no exception. Well, we left Saturday at 1:30, and now it is 4:10 Tokyo time, and we are officially here. Let the games begin. Tokyo, nearly 7,000 miles from New York City, and there are a lot of steps to go through before even getting on the ground. Gonna go find Craig, our executive producer Tom Mazzarelli, and start to make our way to customs and COVID protocol. There we go. Testing at home, testing at the airport, checkpoints, lines, and more checkpoints. Making our way in line. We've got our OCHA stuff, and now it's checking out, I guess, more COVID stuff.
Almost there. Almost
so
there.
close, so close. Smooth sailing for Craig and our executive producer to get their COVID test results. Me, not so much. So your testing numbers come up on this board. Craig's came up, Tom's came up about 10 minutes ago. I'm still waiting. We all went together. So this is the first hitch, at least for me. Oh well. So far, what are you gonna do? And a negative test result is required to enter. And so I wait. All right, gentlemen. Well, I've got to get another test, so boom. We'll see you guys later.
Hopefully. Good luck now.
All right, we'll see you at the hotel.
We're with you.
But finally, after 4 hours at the airport, well, made it. At the hotel in Tokyo, and it is gorgeous. Where I still have to quarantine along with everybody else. For safety, we're broadcasting from our hotel, making it work and home all in one.
Good morning from Tokyo. Today's home away from home.
There are ways to make quarantine fun. For example, Savannah using the time to work out in her room because we can't go to the gym or even really outside. The only times we are allowed out is for a 15-minute-a-day walk. Walking, more walking. Though short, it is a chance to discover some treasures unique to Tokyo, like the endless vending machines. Japan has the most vending machines per capita, more than 4 million. Keir Simmons is out of quarantine and experiencing some more of what Japan has to offer.
Oh, my brother, when you get free from quarantine, you're literally going to be able to breathe again by visiting ancient forests like this one. One thing you should note, the bears roam free here too.
But we can't forget why we're really here, the games. And even though we've had to test and prepare for this, it's nothing compared to what these athletes have been working so hard for.
Go get it!
Oda spending the day cheering on the women's gymnastics team as they brought home the silver medal in the team competition
Oh my God,
Or
look who's here.
ramen.
Wait, look.
Oh, just go.
As the competition heats up in Tokyo, athletes swinging by our studio with their medals. And even though COVID has prevented the normal audiences from being in the stands, we all still cheer on our athletes and appreciate the hard work everyone's put in to making these games a reality.
We're just getting started. Stick around for more never before seen behind the scenes footage from here in Tokyo and how we actually get our broadcast on the air each morning. Plus later, Savannah will be joining us live. If the Today team had an Olympic sport, what would it be? Eating. That's right. We are world champion eaters.
Okay, if today had an Olympic sport, there's only one sport it could be. Okay, it takes precision, it takes brains, it takes finesse, and it takes drinking. Beer pong. Okay, beer pong. Can you picture Roker? He dominates beer pong.
Today's show team had an Olympic sport. I think it would be speed walking because we're always walking really fast from set to set, outside of the plaza, inside, up the stairs, down the stairs. That's really the only thing we're good at athletically.
If the Today team had an Olympic sport, it would probably be talking, just yapping. Because let's not kid ourselves, that's essentially what we do, right? And no one does it better than Hoda Kotb and Savannah Guthrie. And my God, Roker's been yapping nonstop for 40 years. So yeah, we take the gold and just run in our mouths.
And welcome back. We're here live in Tokyo. I'm here with my friend Bob. We're giving you a behind-the-scenes look at how everyone here at NBC works to bring the Olympic Games to you at home. So how does the show get on the air? That's what I was wondering, Bob. Take a look. This is what you see at home.
Welcome to Today and welcome to Tokyo. It is great to have you with us on this Monday morning.
Sweeping views of Tokyo Bay. State-of-the-art Olympic venues.
We got ushered off to the bus and then onto the village.
Gold medal hopefuls roaming the athletes' village.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Make the most of your day with
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day. Make the most of your day with Today All Day. Get closer to all your friends at Today in a whole new way.
Today in
30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Shop today with Jill Martin.
We're helping you shop like never before.
The latest styles and biggest names. Today food.
Things are heating up in the Today All Day kitchen.
Cooking essentials and recipe inspiration.
Get ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Only on Today All Day.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go. Sometimes the news can be difficult and overwhelming for kids to understand.
Will coronavirus come back next year?
So to help make sense of it all, we've created a newscast just for them. Man, you know a lot. We hope your family will watch Nightly News Kids Edition.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
To go back to the village, I was exhausted.
But what you don't see is our village.
Look at this. Wow.
Meet the Today Show team responsible for producing a one-of-a-kind morning show in a one-of-a-kind year.
In COVID times here in Tokyo, we have to be really careful about how and when we shoot. We have special permission to shoot today at Skytree, but we had to come in before the general public came in.
And can you tell we're just a little bit excited to be here? This is our Today Show workspace. We've got writers and producers all gathering everything that you see in the morning. It's sent to New York, cut together, and put together in snippy little packages for your consumption. The biggest adjustment? The 13-hour time difference.
Here in New York, we have shifted our schedules so we start later at night to match our team in Tokyo's hours. That way, when they send back video, we can grab it and put it into our stories for the morning.
It is 1:45 right now. We still have a few more hours before air, luckily, so we have more time to put it together, but hope you guys are doing well.
A few hours before we hit the airwaves.
Can I get revised questions?
Good morning, everybody. Hello, Team Tokyo. Maz, how we doing?
We have our morning rundown meeting.
The rundown is sort of the Bible of the show. It's the chapter and verse for what we're doing from top to bottom. It's the order, it's who's doing what, when they're doing it, and where they're doing it. And hopefully we stick to it, but a lot of times it changes all the way through the end of the show.
So, Maz, can you walk us through the first half hour?
Guys, I got a rundown.
You need a pronouncer? You need a pro now?
After the rundown meeting, it's a complicated ballet between the Tokyo team and our New York control room.
The biggest challenge is just the communication amongst everybody. You have producers over in Tokyo shooting stories. They're talking to producers back in New York who are editing them. They have to be on the same page. As far as the control room, it's here in New York. All the talent, the cameras, stage manager, they're in Tokyo. The stage manager acts more as a director for me since I can't be there. It's just a lot of coordination, a lot of communication to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Once we get closer to that 7 a.m. start time, it's all hands on set.
Hi.
Over here, we've got our actual set. So you can see this is where it all happens, right here. There's our set. There's our stage manager, Yosef. It's all happening right here for today, behind the scenes.
In 5, 4, 3.
But even across 13 time zones and nearly 7,000 miles, our village comes together to wake you up with those same familiar smiles.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to Today. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday morning.
So we're joined now by our executive producer, Tom Mazzarelli, better known as Maz. Maz, good to see you.
Hello, Al. How are you?
I'm looking at you on camera. I didn't realize what a handsome man you are.
It's just stop lying. Stop lying.
All right, so let's talk about some of the big moments so far. 17-year-old swimmer Lydia Jacoby winning the gold. Yep. Vaccination shows up on set for interviews. So how does this happen? How does she get from winning that medal to getting here on the Today Show?
Well, it's funny. I'm going to back you up even a little bit more. A couple weeks ago, Chanel did a profile of the teen swimmers on Team USA.
Right.
And there were like 10 or 11 of them. Mm-hmm. I think she did, they were in Hawaii training. And I remember she did the piece, and one of the things that stuck out was this Lydia girl saying, I've never been able to swim in an Olympic-sized pool before. Where she lives in Alaska, it was not that size. And I'm like, how is that even possible? She made the team. She must be amazing. Cut to, 3 or 4 days ago, this girl wins it. And everyone's like, I remember thinking, that's the girl without the pool up in Alaska. Oh. So we say, we got to get her on. And there's this whole thing called managing victory, right? Mm-hmm. It's this whole system that we sort of NBC and the Olympics teams have set where they sort of go right from the pool to the mix zone, which is where they do the interviews right afterwards. And then they start their interview process. And we are usually first. And it sort of works with the clock that way. So we then end up getting her here. You've got to clear all the COVID protocols, right? You got to make sure that she's not sort of swimming again the next day and all these other things. And, lo and behold, bang, she's here. And it was fantastic.
In fact, our viewers have been asking questions. We got Debbie on Instagram asking, how are you managing being on the air late at night when this is actually past our bedtimes?
I kind of like it.
Yeah?
You like it?
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. It really is.
It's, for the most part, I mean, I like getting up in the morning and sort of I'm just so used to it, as are you. I do like the idea of having the whole day to plan.
Sure.
Like, I'd say I'd rather have we're on locally here at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I'd say a 5 o'clock or
Would it be,
4
would it be
o'clock
perfect?
would be perfect.
You can plan all you want, but this is, we shine when there's breaking news.
Yeah.
Take me behind the scenes when Simone Biles, drops out.
Yeah. Controlled chaos, controlled chaos that was that show.
Exactly.
Well, one of the things that we going into these games, we knew that there would be events taking place live on our air, which is rare. That doesn't usually happen.
Right.
And it would be going through the 9:30 hour. And so we're like, okay, this is good. That we're going to lean into this. Little did we know that this major news would happen. I think it happened at 7:18 in the morning. So we just scrapped the rundown, changed everything happening at 7:30, and slowly but surely we were learning information about Simone. It was an injury, and then it was not an injury, then it would involve some sort of focus or mental health issue, and then all these things were playing out, and then they competed.
Right.
The Russians win, we win the silver. Then she speaks to Hoda after. That all happened within a 90-minute window.
Wow. And then we had to update for our West Coast affiliates and all that.
We were on them midnight.
Yeah. The other big breaking news is that we now have a mascot, the Today Show mascot.
We've been waiting a very long time. I think there was J. Fred Muggs, and now there's been a 60-year window that we need to fill.
And so we've got our mascot head here, but you can see there's the mascot. We haven't named her yet, but this is the person behind the mascot, inside the mascot, I should say. Well, Phoebe Weiner, good to see you.
Good to see you, Al.
So how did you end up inside the costume?
So a couple weeks before I left, Evan Klupt, the director of production management, started CCing me on these emails saying, I'm so sorry, ... And there were some, markups of what the costume would look like, and I didn't really understand. And then slowly but surely, it became very clear that I would be wearing this when I got to Tokyo.
And what amazes me is your mom called you after seeing the mascot and said, was that you in the mascot?
Yes, I was a little bit embarrassed, and I didn't really want to tell people that it was me, but I think they kind of figured it out.
Well, I think I speak for Maz.
Thank you. Can I just interrupt for a second and just say, Phoebe is an incredibly cultured Japanese scholar.
That's right. A Fulbright scholar.
Fulbright scholar. Speaks Japanese, fluent. We brought her here for that. Bonus is she's a fantastic mascot.
That's right. And just remember the name, Phoebe Weiner. She'll be running NBC News in about, 5 years.
Exactly. Okay. I'm already packing my office, by the way.
There you go. That's why we're all being nice to Phoebe.
Yes.
She's going to be our boss. Phoebe, thanks so much. Maz, thank you,
Thanks,
bud.
Al.
When we come back, a look into how the athletes prepare to compete. Plus, Savannah Guthrie joining us live. Don't go away. What do I eat for breakfast? Here, I'm waking up at the same time, and so I'm having my usual breakfast of champions. Little tiny chocolate donuts.
For breakfast, since I was a walking zombie, I grabbed whatever was closest at the buffet. So I think it was an omelet. I think I had bacon and some form of potatoes.
Well, breakfast was dinner, so I ate a full-on honkin' plate. I had eggs, salmon, toast. I ate with roast.
What color were your eggs?
Orange.
What color are they?
Yes. It's like they're like red. The eggs are funky.
They taste good, but they're orange.
And how was what'd you do for breakfast today?
Well, I didn't eat breakfast. I don't usually, so then I had a Luna bar because we went over to swimming.
I know. I'm still getting adjusted, so I'm not a breakfast person usually, but today I was.
Welcome back to today's Olympic headquarters in Tokyo. We're pulling back the curtain, giving you an exclusive look at the Tokyo Games. And now it's time to see what goes on behind the scenes as the world's greatest athletes prepare to compete.
Kalish is going to win gold for the United States, and Litherland is trying to make it a 1-2 finish for the Americans.
Before the medals, the events,
and that will get through. And here comes McClenny to try and win it, and the United States walks it off.
And the COVID testing.
A few items that are essential to our living here in the village. Every day we spit into one of these.
All 600 plus athletes had to get to Tokyo.
It's time for Tokyo. Let's get after it.
The journey full of airport shenanigans, including the U.S. women's volleyball team giving their own That's So Raven impressions. But finally, all the athletes making it and ready for the next stop, Olympic Village.
U.S. Olympian April Ross speaking to Savannah, giving her the inside scoop on living in the village.
Tell me about your movements, what you're able to do, what you're able to see.
It feels pretty normal. We're allowed to go to the cafeteria whenever we want. We wear gloves. We use a lot of hand sanitizer all the time. We can take buses out to the high performance center, to the venue, and it's pretty free flowing. You know, there's lots of guidelines, but to be honest, it feels decently normal here in the village.
U.S. rower Michelle Schexer echoing April's sentiments.
I do feel very comfortable here. It's unfortunate, I think, that it is, receiving some of the negative press that it is, but honestly, in the village, I feel safer there than I have in any city in the States in the past 18 months.
But there is one thing we keep hearing about.
So I've been getting this question over and over again.
I've been getting this question a lot.
So let's dive into it.
Those cardboard beds.
Okay, so it is cardboard.
Even under here, everything is cardboard, so you might think they're not very sturdy. Let's test it out.
Hey, oh, she's sneezing. So peaceful. Probably the only one who could sleep on the bed.
U.S. men's volleyball player Eric Shoji showed TikTok a full tour of his dorm room.
Let's go. We have a fridge, a microwave, some coffee. Oh my gosh, our trash. This is our little living room, kind of small. And the best part is our balcony view.
And Grace Luzak from U.S. Rowing giving her own behind-the-scenes tour.
No Japan tour would be complete without the super tech-savvy toilet.
And yes, laundry still has to get done, even in the Olympic Village.
Yeah, what's happening is I'm doing about 10 people's laundry.
The women's gymnastic team choosing not to stay in the village after an alternate member on the team tested positive, but had some fun of their own in a hotel nearby. And we can't forget about the food. Japan is known for their cuisine, and these athletes are digging in.
Welcome to dinner.
In the Olympic Village, there are two dining halls. There's the main dining hall, and then there's the casual dining hall, which is all Japanese food. So Kalika and I are checking out tonight. Let's see what we got. First up, salmon salad. Yeah. Teriyaki beef, rice ball / musubi. And this is okonomiyaki. It's like a savory Japanese pancake. This food is so good.
Of course, they are also here to compete. But as they wait for their moment, several attempted the latest viral TikTok challenge. Oreos pass the Oreo. Team USA making the most.
Let's go. This is a critical choke point for this fire. And good evening from New Orleans. Nice to really spend some time with you. Appreciate it. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. Admire you both.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today. Future's looking bright. Are you ready? We're going to do our part to spread the word on the importance of vaccines, so crucial for reopening America.
A big day around here, a very special naturalization ceremony.
Many of them doctors, nurses, other essential workers.
If you are a nurse, thank you.
Spring has sprung, guys, and we want to fill this season with some fun and surprises.
Yes,
this is the face of excitement.
Celebrating Earth Day.
Let's change the world.
Love it!
Make the most of your day with
Today in 30. We give you a mix of everything you love about our show
in a mere 30 minutes.
Watch Today in 30 on your schedule, streaming every day on Today All Day.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
Let's go. And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
A lifetime experience on and off the field.
Go Team USA. Go USA.
And taking us along for the ride every step of the way.
Love seeing all those athletes behind the scenes.
Fun.
Oh, well, of course, you know this nice lady, Savannah Guthrie, helping us with our behind-the-scenes special.
I love this show.
Yeah, it's it's like today at night, kind of like
Today after dark.
Oh yes,
It's getting dangerous.
Well, speaking of that, what do you think about doing the show when it's like dark, pitch dark out?
I like it. I mean, we're morning people,
Sure.
but this is fun. I could get used to this. You sleep in, you take a little nap in the afternoon. It's good. I like it. Do you like it?
I do, although, it's still, every now and then I kind of like, okay, wait, what time is it?
Yeah, I mean, I like our hours, but but this is a nice change.
This is all right. Maybe we'll keep this up when we get back. What's been your favorite moment so far?
I loved doing the opening ceremony. I still loved when the drones
By the
were
way,
up
you
in the
and
air.
Mike Tirico were amazing.
We had so much fun, and I had never done it before, so that was really cool. When they put the drones up in the air, it was like, I've never seen anything like that in my life. I'm not sure that anything's been done like that. 1,800 drones, and it looked
Never
like
been done
planet
before.
Earth.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was truly beautiful.
Yeah, one of the things I find kind of interesting is how this dance that goes on. But again, even here with the Olympics, we had that breaking news with the Simone Biles.
Yeah.
What was that? Because you and Hoda, Hoda was at the Gymnastics Center, but you were here kind of honchoing this thing. What was that like?
It was crazy because we kind of just shifted into breaking news mode, but it was about the Olympics. It was literally the last thing anyone would have expected, and right away, luckily we have we have the best team in the business.
We do.
They kind of blew up the whole rundown that was planned and started booking live guests. I think we woke up Mike Tirico in the middle of the night.
He said he had just poured some bourbon. He was about to come.
Well, he seemed totally sober.
I know.
I don't think he had had any yet.
He didn't have it.
And he's such a good sport. He came down. We're in the hotel. Our set is right at the hotel, so he's probably up in his room. He came down. We started getting the gymnastics analysts on, and it was all unfolding on our air. And Hoda was there,
right?
So she was watching what was happening, and at first we didn't know, was it a physical injury? Then we learned it had to do something with her mental health, and so it was just we kind of shifted into that mode, and it's pretty extraordinary, and I'm so proud of the other athletes who really stepped up and rose to the occasion. They're incredible.
What is it? When we come to the Olympics, it's a whole different thing because we get to spend time together that we don't normally, because look, let's face it, we've got families and all that, but here it's such unadulterated us time.
It's fun. It's like camp. It's like today's show camp, and it's really special. And we, it's true because when we're back home, we have our families, we've got kids at school and all that stuff. Here, we get to have our meals together. We go on these little adventures together. And even with the pandemic, we've gone on the bus tour. We had Japanese lunch today, which will be on the show this morning, and it's fun. It's just different kind of time, and not just those of us that you see on camera, but all of our producers
all of our crews and everybody else. Well, look, I know you've got, we're on the air live in 30 seconds.
I know.
30 minutes.
It's 30 seconds. Oh my God, I gotta go.
30 minutes.
Yeah,
so you've got homework to do.
Yes.
All right. Thanks for joining us for a behind-the-scenes look today at the Olympic Games. Stay tuned to Today all day throughout the day for more interviews with all your favorite Olympians. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And good evening from New Orleans. There is breaking news. There you go.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
Start your day with us every morning. Get your daily dose of news on the go with the Today podcast. And stream Today anytime you want.
Today, all day.
Every day.
Wherever you are, Today is there.
U.S. swimming star Katie Ledecky in the house.
Eddie, come on out. You're making me cry.
This is an incredible moment.
Join us every morning on Today.
Today is now a podcast, available every morning. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
The Meet the Press Chuck Toddcast, free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Good morning, everybody. We have turned our plaza into Olympic Plaza, and why not? Take a look at this, a fully vaccinated and fully fired up crowd. This is going to be the center of the action because a lot of the athletes returning home are going to stop here first. We've got swimming royalty right here.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Today All Day and a look behind the scenes of today's special Olympic broadcast. I'm back from Tokyo. We're on our Olympic Plaza just outside Studio 1A in New York City. Our crowd is already starting to pour in to Olympic Plaza, our fully vaccinated crowd. They're all looking good because they're fully vaccinated. Over the next half hour, I'm going to give you an inside look at how these special broadcasts have come together outdoors on our Olympic Plaza. Now, you think the party has been in Japan for the past 2 weeks, but every day we've invited these nice people. We like you. They've been cheering us on and cheering on Team USA. Here's an inside look at how our team here in the Big Apple turned this plaza into our own Olympic village.
He's going to win gold up there in lane 5. He did it!
While the adrenaline is still rushing through Tokyo, today's Olympic Plaza may be just as exciting. 13 time zones and 7,000 miles away. We have all the action, athletes, and me back here in New York. During our outdoor broadcasts on our Today Plaza. The set took 2 weeks to design, another 2 weeks to build, with crews working throughout the night. This iconic arch, inspired by Chidori, Japanese architecture, all with the goal welcoming fans to the plaza.
The design ties into all of our sets that are over in Tokyo and Connecticut, really tying everything together for the viewer.
Our fully vaccinated fans arriving at the crack of dawn, ready to be part
Tucson, Arizona
of the Today Show. And for this couple, our plaza is really the next best thing to being there.
Caleb's going to be here today.
Charles and Susie spent 2 years planning to go to the games, but then the pandemic.
We have everything. We have airline ticket, hotel.
I want to say thank you on behalf of the show and NBC for writing to us, for setting your alarm early, for bringing your vaccination cards, your photo ID, your great posters, your beads, we are your Statue of Liberty foam hats.
Our plaza producer, Kevin Chattel, is the first to meet everybody.
We're excited to be here. I have always wanted to do this since I was a little girl. And so now I'm 40 and we're here.
The fans arrive on 48th Street right here in Rockefeller Center at 6 a.m. They come decked out. People line up as early as 5:30. They come on, go through security, get a good spot, and right away we start getting them on TV.
Dallas, are you ready?
Yes.
Right at the camera, you know your lines.
We record all of that before the show starts that we include in our 8 o'clock open a bit later in the show.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Tampa, Florida.
Oklahoma City.
This right here is the happiest place in New York City. People are out here to celebrate, to have a good time, honor their milestones.
We got the gold.
We got the gold, yeah.
Every single day is a dose of joy, of excitement. There's never a dull moment.
Our anchors get ready, then it's showtime.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm Zach Schiffman, and I'm one of the stage managers on the Today Show.
During our broadcast, stage manager Zach keeping the talent on track and the guests in place, all with multiple people talking in his ear.
I'm in constant communication with the director and the assistant director. Under a minute, come on over. So I get in around 5 in the morning, and the first thing we do is we call into the daily rundown meeting where we learn about what's on the show today, what changes have happened overnight, and then we start our pre-planning process. 15 seconds. The best part about my job is that every day is different here.
USA! USA! And just like that, from pool to plaza, Caleb Dressel wowing the crowd with his 5 gold medals.
It is pretty crazy though. I've grown up seeing
this on the TV, and so to be on the other side and like all these fans out here are incredible.
And that's a wrap for today behind the scenes on Olympic Plaza. And we're now joined by my pal, Chanel Jones.
how
Good
are
to
you?
see you. So you and Jenna Bush Hager last week were holding down the fort here while we were all in Tokyo. What was it like here on the plaza?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have to tell you, honestly, it exceeded expectations. We didn't really know what to expect. It was honestly the first time we've really been out with a crowd again.
Right.
And what we found, people are longing to be back together again and to connect. And I was fascinated by the amount of people from all over the country, from Utah to Des Moines to Florida. I mean, everybody was here having a good time. We had the games on behind us.
Right.
I mean, it was electric.
On the big board. So far for you, what's been your favorite moment of the Olympics?
Oh my gosh, having Caleb Dressel, was that just a couple of days ago? Olympic swimmer here on the set. And honestly, just the fun we've had with the crowd.
Right.
Jenna and I have played wacky games. There are a lot of things that you guys don't see at home behind the scenes during the commercial breaks, taking selfies and talking to folks. It's just been really fun.
And of course, we've got the U.S. gymnasts coming in today, the women's gymnastics team.
Even I'm a little jittery. I'm excited.
Is that who you're looking forward to here on the plaza?
Everybody wants to see Simone and Suni Lee and all of these girls. I mean, they were able to meet the moment. So we want to salute them.
Absolutely. Now, in our last behind-the-scenes special, we all answered the question, if we had a team sport, Olympic sport, what would it be?
Okay, so is this
I said eating,
what'd you
Craig
say?
Talking, Savannah said walking, Hoda said beer pong. What would your Olympic sport be?
I want to learn how to surf.
Really?
Yes. I've never tried it. I've never even touched a board, but I want to learn how. Can we make that happen?
I'm going to make this happen.
No, I'm kidding. I mean, I really want to learn.
No, let's do it.
But I have no concept how. I've never skateboarded. Like, I have no concept.
So we're going to make this happen.
All
We
right.
really are.
We'll see what
In our last special, we answered viewers' questions.
Okay.
They came up, and we've got a viewer question. Let's roll the prompter to that viewer question. That would be very helpful. Okay, I guess we don't have the viewer question.
Oh, darn.
So doggone it.
Darn.
You did your Through Mom's Eyes.
Yes.
You've got that great series that
Yes.
we do on the third hour, and you did an Olympic version of it.
You know what? Noah Lyles, one of the Olympians who we'll actually be talking with a little later today. We talked to archery mom, one of the youngest swimmers. She's 15 years old. Her name is Katie. Her mom.